out of apartment 5B.
You're now tuned into the Apartment 5B podcast, where we chop it up about hip-hop, R&B, sports, love and life. Hosted by Kill.
What's good? You are tuning Apartment 5B podcast hosted by your man Kill. I got my squad with me in effect today. Burn out the ATL with them Braves. I already know what's going on.
Going to the parade with some homies tomorrow. Yeah, live, man. Glad to be here. Missed y'all, boys.
No doubt. Glad to see you had a fun time with Pops out in Chicago.
Yeah. The
R&B guru, JR. What's going on, fam?
What's up? Good to be back. You know, gone for 2 weeks, but I'm here to be with y'all, to bug out with y'all. So
no doubt. Tone from End of the Dome. What's going on, good brother?
Cheers, my good brothers. Good to
I no doubt. I am God out the city of Wynn, Chicago. What's going on, fam?
Chilling. Happy to be here once again. Appreciate you having me, bro.
Already know. And my brother Vague out of Brooklyn. What's going on, fam?
What up, man? I'm sauced up already. Kill is good.
You already know me. Let's jump right into it. If you was a comic book head like me back in the 80s, one of my favorite series was called What If. It'd be what if Spider-Man fought Wolverine? What if Spider-Man was part of Avengers? Just a whole bunch of what if stuff. Of course, that's now made famous by Disney Plus. Everybody knows about What If. We've done What If episodes on Apartment 5B before. I think we've done 2 shows like this, and like we're always throwing things at it. One of it was what if Large Professor produced all of Illmatic? Is it still the hip hop Bible if Large Professor did the whole joint? Or what if Shan showed up to the symphony studio session like he was supposed to? Like, who gets knocked off? You know, or is it 5 people instead of 4 people? Is the symphony still as dope if you put MC Shan on it? So we've done that before, but what we're doing today is we're doing what if the battle episode. So we're looking at I got 9 hip hop battles here, and we're looking at what if the loser of that battle actually won? How does that change the timeline of hip hop? Does it change the timeline of hip hop? We don't know. We're going to talk about battles in the 80s where if you lost, it don't matter if you was dope. Your career was over. There was no coming back from an L in hip hop. Towards the mid to late 90s, that kind of changed. You could lose a battle and still come back and drop an album. So what changed? Also, in the 80s, it was almost like a 99% chance that we all agreed on it. Like, I don't know anybody to this day who's like, nah, Kill Antoinette ain't like it's like, nah, nigga, we all know like, you know what I mean? But then again, you move into the 90s, you move into, the late 90s, you start getting people. I've heard people say Canibus won the battle. Nah, LL won the battle. Nah, Jay won the battle. No, Nas won the battle. No, Kiss won the battle. No, Beans won the battle. So what changed? So we're going to start with the first battle today. We're going back to 1981 with Busy B and Kool Moe Dee at Harlem World, where we all know Moe Dee beat Busy B. Busy B came in with the bomb diddy bomb, the bomb diggy diggy. He came in with the turning the party out type rhymes, and Moe Dee was like, nah, we coming with lyrics this time. And I just don't think Busy B was ready for it. When I looked at this battle at first, I was like, yo, does this change the structure of an MC? If Busy B wins and everybody in the crowd sees that and everybody's like, oh, so nobody cared about the lyrics, the party rocking hip hop is still dope, that possibly could change the dynamic of hip hop. But then I started thinking that was 81. I still just have a feeling that LL, Run, even Curtis Blow. I mean, Curtis Blow, If I Ruled the World, that wasn't on no old like rocking the party. Like, these are real rhymes. You know what I mean? So my first instinct was, man, if Busy B won, does hip hop change? I don't think it does, because I still think we have that 3 years between 81 to 84 with LL and Run DMC and Curtis Blow to kind of see hip hop moving forward. Vague, what do you think? You're an MC. Do you think that if Busy Bee wins, does anything change? Does it change? What happens if Busy Bee wins that battle?
I think you had a point. I think you made the point, or my point at least, is that I don't think it changes that much because I think the impact of what Moe Dee was doing was something different. You know what I'm saying? As far as what they were used to in battles back then. So that's what made people gravitate towards the lyrics, because it was like, yo, we like that. What Busy Bee was doing, you know, maybe he rocked the crowd more, and maybe Moe Dee, right? Maybe Moe Dee is not as lyrical, or maybe he just moves on to another battle, you know, with someone else. But I don't think it has that much of an effect because it was a different hip hop audience at that time, not that critical about lyrics and battles and, you know, who won. The criteria for the winner was a much shorter list than it would be for us today. So I feel like Busy Bee just would have been better, but I don't think it would have changed much.
All right, no doubt. God, what you think, bro?
I'm gonna tread light on this one, given the fact that wasn't necessarily my era. I came after that. I was born in '86. I agree with what y'all saying though. Like, I think it has some. I think basically it take maybe a little longer for lyricists to actually blossom and bloom until what we know them as. Maybe a year or two before you saw, you know what I'm saying, a Kane or a Rakim or something like that. But I don't think it was so early in the game. I don't think it really does nothing significant, you know what I'm saying, to change the trajectory on what a real MC would be considered. You know what I'm saying?
All right, no doubt. Tom, what you got, bro?
Yeah, man, evolution is real. You know, so at some point, the rapping was going to take similar course anyway. So I think that if Busy Bee would have won, maybe you get 2 or 3 more little Busy Bee clones for a year or two.
Right.
But as you said, the other MC, Cass and them was already there. You know what I'm saying? Grandmaster Cass and Mel and Mel, they might not been as famous yet, but they was already rhyming in New York.
With
so
bars.
The lyrics was already on its way to the mainstream to a degree, and then Run and LL and DMC, you know, they was going to eventually cross it over. So I don't think, like my man said, it's so early in the game, you know, that was just a formality, man. The game was going to evolve the way, the natural progression regardless.
All right, no doubt. Vern, what you got, bro?
I think if he had won, he would have just prolonged the inevitable. I mean, he was about to be extinct. And another thing you think about, Busy Bee was not an album maker. He was a party rocker, as you said. So Moe Dee flipped it to starting being an album rapper. So yeah, he was about to go out regardless.
Mm-hmm. All right, JR, what you got?
Yeah, I just remember my dad talking about it, and he was like, dude wasn't gonna last that long. Because he was like, for real. Like, he was like, dude wasn't lasting that long. He was like, it was too many spitters that was coming. So he was like, because I used to ask him about him, he was like, it wasn't. He would have, if he would have won, he would have lasted maybe another year or something. But after that, it would have been a wrap. Because again, LL was coming, Run DMC was coming, and all that. So, yeah, I agree with y'all.
I think another point I didn't think of until Vague, you kind of touched on it, was also there was no media for this. Like, I wasn't, you know, if you wasn't there at Harlem World when that happened, you just didn't know about it. You know, like,
there was a tape that floated around, right? Like, didn't they have it on tape?
Yeah, they eventually got around, but I may not have heard of the Busy Bee battle. I don't even know when I heard about it. I could have been in high school. I could have been in college. So again, this wasn't like this was on, you know, Vlad TV, or it wasn't, you know, no battle rap where everybody in the world saw it. So it wasn't like Cats and Cali was like, oh shit, that style is played out, do it this way. Like, if you weren't there, it probably didn't even phase you. Like, it may have been people in New York who didn't even know that happened, maybe outside of Harlem in the Bronx or something like that. So I think that's the other thing too, that everything's under a microscope now. Like, if you lose a battle now, everybody knows you lost the battle. You know what I mean? So we got that one. Second one. This one I'm interested in. KRS versus Shan. 1987. The thing that I always get about Shan is that I thought Shan was a good MC. I didn't think he was great. You know what I mean? I always felt like MC Shan at that time was a very good MC. At that time, when The Bridge came out, people act like The Bridge was whack because The Bridge is over came out. The Bridge is still a hip hop staple, in my opinion, to this day one of the greatest songs ever. You know, but it's a testament to how we said if you lost the battle back then, your career was over. Because after the bridge is over, nobody cared about Shan anymore. It was nothing for that. And his second album, I think, is extremely dope. The second album came out in '88, produced by Marley, so we still talking about Marley in his bag. You got '88 Marley doing Kane and touching on G-Rap and bits. So very dope album, but nobody heard it. I think if Shan wins, man, I don't know. I don't know where I mean, if we're in that place of you lose the battle and it's over, I don't know where we go from there. I mean, I don't know if it changes the trajectory of hip hop, but I mean, I just think KRS is, in his own words, out of here. You know what I mean? Like, Rakim is still there, Kane is still there, G-Rap is still there. So I think hip hop still moves forward. You know, the Stop the Violence movement, I mean, PE was preaching that. So again, I think KRS, you know, may essentially be gone, but I don't know if it really interrupts the flow of hip hop as we know, because we still were going to get Rakim. We still were going to get, you know, Ain't No Half Stepping with Kane. We still going to get Road to the Riches. So I think KRS is just out of here, but I don't think it messes up the lineage of hip hop, really. Vay, what do you think, man? You were in New York, so what do you think, man?
Yeah, I think if Shan won, it definitely prolongs his career.
Right.
Because Shan was hot at the time. You know what I'm saying? He was hot.
And I think that's the thing that a lot of people forget about. Because there are people our age who forget about. I'm like, yo, we really gonna act like the bridge wasn't the shit? Like, come on, yo.
Right.
And then younger people don't think Shan was dope because he just got knocked out the box. But I'm always saying, yo, with a fight, somebody gotta win, somebody gotta lose. And that was the hard part about hip hop. Veg, I know you're a boxing fan. There was no rematches. There was no trilogy. You know, like, okay, you took the first fight. Well, we gonna come back for another fight. Well, I guess because it was the bridge, then South Bronx, then it was Kill That Noise, then was the bridge is over. So I guess it was a little back and forth. So I'm wrong in that regardless. But yeah, basically Shan was out. So I'm sorry. Keep going what you were saying.
No, you're right, man. I mean, I think with obviously Shan's career is prolonged as a result. Like you said, he dropped an album after that and it wasn't whack. You know what I'm saying? So he didn't completely fall after the bridge is over. What it does change is the Queensbridge dark ages. Because when the bridge is over came out, the bridge was over. And we ain't hear from them. No disrespect to Tragedy, but it still felt like the dark ages because we were like, oh, he's from Queensbridge. You know what I'm saying? Some of that was still lingering. We liked them, but we didn't have the same feelings that we had when the bridge was out until Nas, right? Until Illmatic and all of that, which is crazy. But yeah, man, for KRS-One, I think you're right, Kill. I think with KRS-One, I don't want to bury the lead because you probably got this on your list, but this battle is a lot like Ja Rule and 50 Cent.
Yeah,
Ja Rule.
We gonna touch on that. That's like I got it on here. What happened when John won that battle? Like, so
it's like the same difference. You know what I'm saying? It's like 50 Cent was, you know, people liked him, but he wasn't it. Ja Rule was it, and I feel like with KRS-One, if he doesn't win that battle, if he doesn't make a response song like South Bronx, which really just fed off of the hotness of the bridge. What is he really? You know what I'm saying? Do we even get to discover how dope he can be? We probably don't care. We probably, man, shut up. Who is this cat? You know? So.
Right. Somebody said that. They said, what if Magic didn't diss BDP?
Yeah.
Because that was the whole point. It was like, okay, Magic dissed us. Okay, we were Red Alert. You know, we going at them. What if Magic welcomed them with open arms? Like, yo, y'all the shit. Join the Juice Crew type thing. You know what I mean? And then that never happened. So another asterisk of what if. You know what I mean? So, but
real quick, that might change if Magic didn't say no, that might change the course of diss records in hip hop.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because to me, that battle is sort of like the measuring stick now. When we have two people go at each other, it's like we gonna get that Bridges over, we gonna get that ether. You know what I'm saying? That no Vaseline stuff like that. So yeah,
that's a good point. That's a good point. And like you said, I love what you said about the Queensbridge era, because you're right. There was almost nothing coming out of Queens. Like nothing was moving out that borough. So I definitely feel you. God, what you got for this? What do you think if Shan wins and KRS takes the L? How do you see that moving hip hop?
Again, this is not my era, but at the same time, I am a student of this. You know what I'm saying? And I did do the knowledge on this particular battle, and I feel like we might be underestimating what this would have done, you know what I'm saying, had the roles been reversed. And the only reason I say that is because, you know what I'm saying, to piggyback off what Vegas was talking about as far as the Queensbridge, the dark era. I mean, if Shan win that, let's just go to the obvious first, KRS-One. If Shan win that battle, we don't get no Temple of Hip Hop. We don't get BDP. You know what I'm saying? We don't get just Blastmaster KRS-One. We don't get none of that. You know what I'm saying? And KRS is a staple. You know what I'm saying? A figure, a legend, a forefather of this, especially for the MCs and the performances and the battles. So just take away all that. That's crazy right there within itself. And then if, you know what I'm saying, like if he win over here, you know what I'm saying? If Shan win, it's like, do we even get a Mobb Deep or a Nas as intended? Because I feel like they came out of Queens being disrespected. You know what I'm saying? I feel like they came with a chip on their shoulder. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like, do we even get Nas and Mobb Deep as is? Maybe we still get them, but do we get them as is? Do we get Illmatic? Do we get Infamous and Hell on Earth and all that? You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. I think that one would have been kind of crazy had it gone the other way.
Yeah, sure indeed. Tom, what you got, bro?
That's why this is one of the most interesting what ifs. Because, like, for example, all right, so if Shan wins, I think it prolongs him a little bit. But when you were saying somebody his next album being dope, it was pretty good. But when you compare Shan against the Rakim, Kane, G-Rap, Rick, he's just a tier. He's under them. He's just not as gifted as they are. So his fire at some point was going to burn out. You know what I'm saying? KRS-One situation to me is like this. Let's say he lose, but what is he recording at the same time? Is he recording Criminal Minded at the same time he's working on the Bridges Over? Is he doing 9mm and poetry and all of this stuff? Because if he is, and if he still lose, at some point that album still get picked up. Maybe it's not looked at like a instant hip hop classic, but it's still gonna be a dope album, and KRS still becomes a dope MC. Does he become the MC that he became? We don't know. Until my man said, then if the dark ages don't happen in Queens, it's Nas Dead Hungry, like on Memory Lane. The most deadly MC is coming out of Queensbridge. You know what I'm saying? Is he coming with that kind of aggression? You know what I'm saying? Because there's no dark age. So maybe Nas Illmatic is like OC Word Life. Just a dope album. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of ways to look at that situation, man. But I do think at some point KRS would have been a dope MC, but maybe not looked at in this light that we look at him right now. And Shan probably would have had a little bit more longevity in his career. I don't know how much longer, because I just think that his rhyme style kind of fit that pre-era, golden era, and I don't think he's going to be able to transition. So it might have slowed KRS down and Queens down, but I think Shan at some point is going to flame out.
So tell me this, Tom. So you think KRS would be able to do what no other MC was able to do at that time, and take an L and still come back? Because it felt like after you took the L, I always say, and we'll talk about this battle coming up with Antoinette and MC Light, I Got an Attitude is one of my favorite hip hop songs.
It was
ever. Like, you know what I mean? But after that album dropped, after the disc came, you know, it's like it was a disappearing act. So you really think that KRS still could have?
I do, because when we look at some of those artists before KRS losing battles, how gifted were they really? Busy Bee losing, he wasn't that good anyway. You know what I'm saying? MC Shan losing, okay, but he wasn't as good as his peers in his group. You know what I'm saying? So Antoinette wasn't on MC Light level. You know what I'm saying? So when we look at the battles that came 15, 20 years later, they were almost even battles damn near. You know what I'm saying? These were wipeouts. You know what I'm saying? So so KRS-One was so talented.
I did listen to that album, Who's the Boss, and it wasn't good. You know what I mean? So it's not like I didn't check for the album when it dropped. It just wasn't a good album. So I see what you're saying. And Criminal Minds still comes out.
And real quick, think about this. Down by Law. Compare Down by Law to Long Live the King, to Paid in Full, to, you know what I'm saying, Road to the Riches. You know what I mean? To Mama Said Knock You Out. It's just, that's the tier under. So now we get into the 90s, 2000s. These boxing matches, both for the two champions in the ring. Not that Shan wasn't important, because he was very important. But I'm just talking about the skill aspect.
I feel what Tone's saying, but I don't know, because do we think that Chris would have had the vision and the foresight to do what had never been done before? Because even he said in one of them beef DVDs, had Shan came with some shit and ended him, he would have went right back to his job, mopping the same floor he was mopping, getting $15 every time he mopped that floor. So, and that's coming from the horse's mouth. I don't know. I think we looking at it from Chris being who he is today, KRS being who he is today. I feel like that shit was never done before. Nobody probably even knew that, hey, I could be persistent, come back and put out some shit and still have a level of acceptance in this hip hop shit. I just feel like it was at a time to where they just thought it was what it was. If you lose this battle, you done, you finish, you out of here. So I feel what you're saying, but at the same time, I don't know, because just that just was the impression back then. I'll lose this battle, I'm out of here.
Let me make one quick
point. Real quick, Tone. The funny thing about that is I remember KRS saying, if Shan doesn't even respond, BDP doesn't exist.
Yeah.
So if Shan would have just ignored me, there would be no KRS-One.
Right.
You know what I mean?
And you know what? And that could be true, but just know how KRS-One is as well. And I'm looking at it from back then too. If he don't sensationalize it a little bit, I think it changes some of the narrative too. I'm not saying that doesn't happen. He might I could be totally wrong, but he also, on Beef DVD, he's going, he's like to keep the story going, man. I think he's going to sensationalize it a little bit. But that's going to be a first time for everything. So at some point, somebody got to lose a battle and still have a career. You know what I'm saying? So whether that's going to be KRS-One doing that, somebody going to do that 5 years later. But everyone who loses a battle not going to lose their career. It's going to be a change in the guard at some point, because somebody's going to be a very good artist who's going to lose a battle. But their artistry is going to keep your career going. So we got to still make sure we get that perspective also.
Greg, you want to say something?
I just wanted to add one quick thing so everybody else can get their opinions in there. I think KRS-One had some sincerity in what he was saying, only because at that time the hip hop audience was dismissive.
That's what I'm saying.
Of losers, anything whack. Like, we would, even if you were old, we just dismissed you. Like, yo, that's it for him. We moving on to this next thing. So that's probably what he means. Like, Shan could ignore him because right now he had hip hop in his in the palm of his hand. And for the most part, even when the South Bronx record came out, I remember feeling like, who? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I wasn't blown away. The Bridge is Over is shit that made me look at it like, oh shit, this cat is crazy. So like he said, it depends, but I think the audience was totally different for those battles.
Shit was like amateur night at the Apollo back then, man.
Yeah, and that's true. It's like, it's dismissive. Look at how we dismiss Melly Mel. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, after the message, it's not like nobody. I saw a video. I gotta send it to y'all. It was a video of Melly Mel, and I swear to God, I thought it was, who's that? Gerald, what was the nigga's name? We don't have to take our clothes off to have a good
Jermaine
time.
Stewart.
I saw a video and I thought it was Jermaine Stewart. I swear to God. And I swear to God, and y'all gonna laugh when you see it, because I'm like, what the fuck? Jermaine Stewart got on a trench coat. And then I saw Grandmaster Flash. I was like, oh shit, that's Melly Mel. But
They killed me wildin', bro.
I'm gonna send you the video and watch. If you don't think this shit is, watch fucking
He had that hair pressed.
and then watch this video with Melly Mel and tell me at first glance you ain't like, this nigga wearing a trench coat. But we did dismiss Melly Mel. This nigga owns the message, and it was like,
After they own them, After the message and after what White Lines, what else did he do? It go back to my point earlier.
No, you're right. But I was just saying that's how
that is true, though.
Just like how what they're saying that we know he's a legend, but it was like, okay, that shit is whack. Where's Run DMC? You know,
Right. That's true.
So,
That's true.
Vern, what you got for this? How do you feel this battle shifts if Shan wins?
I don't think. I think this might have been the first changing of the guard because just KRS-One's skill level was just miles ahead of Shan. What album was Shan's? That song "Lonely Girl." Why'd you have to leave me this way?
That's off the first album. So that's not Down by Law. I think was his first album.
Down by Law.
Okay.
Yeah, the first album. Which is a dope slow jam. That's one of hip hop.
It was.
Hip hop slow jams. MC Shan owns one of my favorite hip hop slow jams, and that Girl You Left Me Lonely.
Yeah.
Yeah. I also think too. Shan would have got himself out of there, because why wasn't he at that the video?
What video?
Symphony.
For the Symphony? Because at that time, he was the dopest MC that was out.
That's my point. I think
it wasn't really. But go ahead.
Well, because Kane and them hadn't really come out yet. Because you figure In Control dropped in '88, so that means they're recording it probably '87. You know what I mean? So at that time, Kane may have just dropped Raw. Like I don't know the timeline of everything, but at that time and point, Shan was the most well-known MC.
He was the most well-known,
and his attitude was, "I'm not jumping on a song with these kids, with these new niggas."
And that's my point. I think Shan would have got himself out of there. He reminds me of a boxer who won his first fight and got the belt, and he like that fool Wilder who didn't do no more road work. He think he can just get in there and swing. Man, these niggas hungry, and they was gonna get you out of there anyway. And that's probably off the subject of what you asked. I don't know how it changed. I don't know if it changes hip hop too much, because again, just like the previous one we talked about, he would have just prolonged the inevitable, because there was no growth in his style of MCing or anything, so he would have got it out of there anyway.
All right. JR, what you got?
Wait, hold on. I'm a young head, so y'all saying that Shan at that time was the man, but he looked at the rest of the Juice Crew, Kane, G-Rap, Craig, as under him, like he don't have to.
Yeah, you got to understand that he's not looking at it probably in a sense of skill. Like I don't even know if he knew how nice they were. You know.
So he didn't know them at all.
I mean, because here's the thing, I don't know. Keep in mind the Juice Crew is from all over. Shan is from Queens, Kane is from Brooklyn, Biz is from LI. So I don't know if on the back of that album cover, In Control, if he really knew how nice Kane was or how nice G-Rap was. It was just at that time, he was known and they weren't. He was in the NBA, these other niggas at Rucker Park. So it's like, I ain't showing up at Rucker Park with these kids out here type attitude like that. Not that he was better than them, but just at that time and point, he was like, I'm the nigga with the record deal. I'm the head of the Juice Crew. I'm the face. When you hear
was feeling himself, basically.
At that time, you think MC Shan and Shantae. Like that was the Juice Crew prior to G-Rap, Kane, Biz, and all them. So,
hey, much love to the legend, but he wasn't nice enough to be on that type of time. I mean,
right?
But looking at it now, you can say that. But back then, like it was understand. I kind of understand why he was like, because he was the dude. Like it's hard to fathom it now because the people we're talking about are like legends and so much better than he is. But at that time, they weren't like. He was more of a household name than they were. Like they weren't out like that. So he was the dude. He was the face at that time. You know what I'm saying?
I'm just talking about on a basic level of skill. Not saying like G-Rap and Kane and them grew to be who they were. I'm just saying like raw. You know what I'm saying? Like,
but I mean, that's the thing. I don't know.
You know what I'm saying? Just skill
I don't know
level.
if he knew. It's almost like this my neighborhood basketball court. I'm the motherfucking man. Here come you know, Vegas bringing 3 niggas in. I don't know if these niggas nice or not. You know what I mean?
Checking for nobody else at this time.
Yeah, like I don't know if he was in a session to even know, oh shit, I'm on a session with G-Rap and Kane and Craig G and Master Ace. Like, nigga, I don't know. You know what I mean? So it could have just been like, yo, I don't know these niggas. Who Molly bring?
No, I'm the one got the record deal.
I'm the nigga with the record deal. So
because I didn't know. That's why it threw me off when Vern said that. I'm like, I never heard that part of the Juice Crew shit. So it's like, damn.
And then it's a style change throughout them years. It's like an evolution in style. Yeah. So like his style at the time was what was happening. Those people we naming are kind of like ahead of their time. Like they transcended and kind of changed the way people rap. So you gotta look at it like that too. You know, I'm not sure he knew what those dudes had in store. You know what I'm saying?
You're right, bro. It's almost how the NBA used to front on AI when he first came to the league. Like, who this little young nigga with cornrows trying to...
Right.
You see what AI did to the league. You know what I mean? So everybody had to... But at that time, it was like, yo, this nigga out here... I remember people being like, yo, he's disrespectful. He's disrespecting the game. He's an eyesore for the NBA. This is what the league doesn't need. A year later, everybody got tattoos and cornrows and shoes. So, you know what I mean? So, JR, what you think? Does it change?
I got a question for y'all because I'm learning, but I got a question because I was looking at like some interviews that MC Shan did, and he said this battle, he felt that with this battle with KRS-One, it saved hip hop. He said he felt that it was at a standstill and it was about to die because he felt like it was a lot, and that's why I'm looking at why y'all saying this. What's happening? You know what I'm saying?
Dan was on himself. He was on himself.
Okay. And y'all basically answered my question.
Hip hop in 1987 was nowhere at no standstill.
That's why I was like, that's why I wanted to ask y'all because I knew you was gonna ask about that.
JR, let me say this.
We don't even bring up Houdini.
MC Shan is the Scrooge of hip hop, also. You know what I
mean? Okay. Yeah. I got
it. You gotta understand. He's still bitter about that battle, like, and how it turned out. And so when he says stuff like, you gotta look at it from that point of view. He's like real prideful, and you know it's universally known that he got beat. And you know what I'm saying. And he'll bring up Kill That Noise. And be like, yo, nobody messed with Kill That Noise, and it was fire. You know what I'm saying? He still will argue about this beat. So you got to understand the perspective he coming from when he say stuff like that. You know what I'm saying?
He's Scottie Pippen. He like Scottie Pippen.
What you gonna say, Bang?
No, I was gonna say it's pretty clear. I mean, he's also a bass head, so
yeah.
Why would I listen to him?
Right.
I didn't want to go there, but yeah.
But saying that
they just did the Stephen A. Smith on Lamar Odom. He's on crack.
Right.
Hey, that clip is so funny, bro.
Yo, that clip was wildin', man. But what you saying?
Huh? Oh no, I'm just saying. I mean, obviously that's not the only thing, but he's delusional in some ways, and he also is probably bitter not only at the battle, but 87, right? Mm-hmm. What year was after that? We all know that year for hip hop, R&B.
Right.
Being a part of that magic, you know?
Yeah. We keep leaving out Houdini when we talk about this era.
Oh, it was amazing.
Yeah, I mean, Houdini, I know I can't leave out Houdini. That's part of my hip hop foundation. So if we ever talking about the 80s, I gotta definitely, speak on Houdini. Rel, do you think it changes anything if Shan wins?
If Shan wins, I think it only prolongs the evolution. You know what I'm saying? It prolongs the evolution of subject matter, cadence, lyricism. You know what I'm saying? The way people started rapping. It only pushes it back maybe a year or so before it's someone else that does, you know what I'm saying? It wouldn't have been Chris. It would have been someone else that kind of, moved it forward. You know what I'm saying? I don't know, like them early battles were like necessary for evolution of hip hop to me. The Kool Moe Dee and Busy B was a changing of how people rap. Like he dissed how Busy B was rapping because at the time Kool Moe Dee was rapping in a different style that pushed the culture forward, and I think this is the same thing. So I think if Shan would have beat Chris, it would have just been somebody else next year that would have took the full, you know what I'm saying, took the reins and moved it forward. Yeah.
All right.
And real quick, y'all, I'm sorry, real quick, we got to remember at the same time KRS might have lost this battle to Shan, we got a guy named William Griffin, Rakim, still. So, things over with Rakim, regardless. Nothing's going to stop that.
Right. And that's why I said that Rakim was still on his way. So,
right.
You know.
He was there, every president in 1986.
Right. Same year, 87, Moe Dee, LL Cool J. Me and Tone always go back on the loving, licious, like a everlasting lever last. I thought this shit was horrible. I thought that shit, I was like, goddamn nigga, just throw in the towel. I felt like a fucking Rocky, like throw in the goddamn towel. You always did. What the fuck? So, you know, Kool Moe Dee, How You Like Me Now. At that time, I didn't even know it was towards LL. It was until someone pointed out that he had the Jeep running over the Red Kango, and then they went back and forth. I think Jack the Ripper is top 5. One of my favorite personal diss songs, Jack the Ripper. I mean, that beat is crazy to this day. I love that joint. If Moe Dee wins that, I feel like it's the same with Shan. I feel like it's the same with Busy B. It prolongs their career for a minute, but eventually we all knew what was coming. They all, and Tone, I think you or Vague made this point, or I forgot who made this point, that just these battles were lopsided. You know, not saying that these people weren't hot at that time, because Shan was hot, but it's still a lopsided battle because it's definitely, you know, Moe Dee was better than Busy B. KRS was obviously better than Shan. LL was obviously better than Moe Dee. So if Moe Dee wins, I think he may get another album in there. But regardless, like Vague said, 88 was coming. You know, whatever album Moe Dee was gonna put out was gonna be hard pressed to be able to fuck with any of the stuff that was out there.
Man, 88.
To me, this is more about LL. So does LL get Is he done? Is LL done if he loses the Moe Dee? Now here's the part, Tone. I see you shaking your head no, but here's the thing, and you brought this point up. He's a tier under. It's nothing worse than getting knocked out by a nigga who's worse than you. You know what I mean? If you get knocked out, like if Kane and Rakim battle, we're talking evenness, cool. But if LL loses the Moe Dee, a nigga who still wears Star Trek shades, is LL really able to bounce back from that L?
I said, listen to this though. I'm sorry. So this 1987, correct?
Yeah, 87.
LL Cool J has already dropped Radio, correct?
That's what right.
He dropped Radio
that's
already.
what I was gonna say.
So he could take these blows. Champions lose fights sometimes and come back and regain their title. L is already a champion by the time him and Moe Dee fights. You know what I'm saying? He got Radio. He pushed the champion. He got Bigger and Deaf already.
Yeah, I'm bad.
He's got the belt, but if he takes the L to Moe Dee, you lost the bet. You ain't Rick
Well, he gets down in the rankings, but he's not out of the top 10.
Yeah. And you got a fight promoter, Def Jam.
I was just about to say.
In concerts, he burning down the Omni in Atlanta, and burning down whatever arena y'all are in.
Yeah. Okay,
he got him a team behind him too.
Kind of with Vegas and God on this. We're still forgetting that we were very dismissive. Like I think we're thinking about.
He's too large already, kid.
Right.
I think with LL though, if he would have lost, he would have kept going until he won.
Exactly.
Like
right.
He got different. Like he got.
But do we keep buying his shit? Do we keep buying his shit? Because
think about.
Here's a question. Who out there brought Shan second out?
Nobody. But what label was Shan on?
But he was on Cold Chill. He's on the same label that Kane and the rest of the Juice.
I got a counter to that. The reason why women bought LL.
Yeah.
I was about to say that.
Yeah. But I mean, women brought it. But I mean,
dudes are gonna follow what the women do. they're gonna follow what the women do. If
So
the
you
women
think,
is
you think if Shorties was buying MC Shan's second album, niggas in Brooklyn was gonna be like, oh shit, let me go follow
No,
her
he
fat
just-
ass.
that just add on.
But LL was like a. He was like a
Sex symbol.
Right.
Yeah, I was gonna say, but he was a young sex symbol, bro. So it was like, I mean, come on, man. Like it would have been like even if he would have lost that battle. Number one, seeing how LL is, he would have battled him till he won. He got a different type of competitiveness than other.
But what if that nigga kept losing?
Eventually,
he kept losing
because
I know. Here's the thing. If Mo Dee beat him the first time, because I don't know too many hip hop battles where it's like you got me that time, but I'm gonna come back and get you the next time.
Right.
Because we're always, and really this is about wax. We've always done shows where we're like, okay, who wins on wax? Who wins on stage? Two different arenas. So we're all dealing with just records right now. So if that lady's loving, if people lose their fucking mind for that shit and it's like, oh shit, that nigga just named 100 words with L we never heard before, and that's the knockout blow to L, it's like, oh shit. But neither here. Vague, what you got, man? What's your thoughts?
Well, first I feel like we got to keep it in the context of the time. The hip hop crowd was different. He's not that LL. He's hot, but he's not that LL. MC Shan had the belt, and he was out of here once the Bridge Is Over came on. So it's really predicated on the audience, because the audience dictated who was hot back then. I mean, now you get a number of dudes signed and they all sound the same. That didn't happen back then. The reason why it didn't happen back then is because people wouldn't fuck with the other cats because they sound like this person. So we gotta like take into account that the crowd was much rougher back then. Even if you were hot, if you lost, you know, everything about you is whack. My feeling, LL doesn't lose a step. LL was just too. He was too much of everything.
Yeah.
That Mo Dee wasn't. So even if he lost, doesn't matter if it was ladies or guys. His whole presentation, his vibe, his flow, who he was, everything about him was just better than Mo Dee. It was almost nothing Mo Dee can say. Maybe if Mo Dee wins, niggas get to dress like Eddie Murphy and the Golden Child for a little bit longer. Maybe that's what happened. Niggas who still dress like that. But you know, like I just can't see Mo Dee even putting the dent in LL, because I felt like, and this is similar to what, you know, Tone, what you were saying. Even though Mo Dee was a way better MC than like Shan or Busy B, he still was declining, and LL felt like the future. Yep. So it wouldn't have mattered what the hell Mo Dee said.
Yep.
Even if it was that licorice lips or whatever the hell he said in there.
That's a dope point, because one thing you are right about LL, that nigga is the comeback king. Because every time I count that nigga out, he come with Panther. I was like, okay, and we are done. And then here comes Mama Said Knock You Out. Then 14 shots to the dome, and here comes Mr. Smith. So you are right. LL can take an L, whether it be, you know, he may not have taken an L in the battle, but he's taken L's with his albums. And he's always been able to bounce back. Eddie, what do you think, man? You're muted, bro. You're muted. Still can't hear you.
Yeah.
All right, God, what do you think? What you think about if Mo Dee beats LL?
I gotta agree, you know what I'm saying, with Vegas and probably what everybody else said. L was just different. Like, I can't compare this to Shan and KRS for the fact that Mo Dee was on his way out. He was the older head. You know what I'm saying? His style was kind of dated. His style was dated compared to what LL was. LL, you know, when you're young, you got a lot of energy to do all the wrong shit. But L had that youthful vigor to where, like, no, I'm not accepting this. So even if he would have lost round one, he would have been relentless and came back time and time and time again. Like, and to the point about him having the ladies in his fan base, I think even if he did lose initial round 1 to Moe Dee, the lady still fucking with him so hard would have bought him that time to come back. They would have kept his name relevant. Even it probably would have been some females like, oh no, that nigga whack. He let Moe Dee get his bum ass out of here. It still would have been a large enough female fan base to keep his name warm until he came back with that next blow, and he would not have lost 2 in a row. Not have. You know what I'm saying? Like, he was just, when he came out, he was different. I ain't the biggest LL fan, but I understand his impact because all through my childhood, this motherfucker reigned supreme. Before Jay-Z and Nas was considered the GOATs, it was this nigga L. You know what I'm saying? I'm looking at him like, dudes I follow way better than this nigga lyrically, but at that point in time, I didn't know his lineage from what he came up from. So knowing all that now, I don't think it was shit Moe Dee could have did. Just like we've been saying, he would have prolonged the inevitable a little bit, but round 2 would have came, the bell would have rung, and he was getting knocked the fuck out quick.
Bird, co-signing everything?
Yep. So here we go. Yeah, times were different, but also times were different. There was a youth movement. Nigga, we was in, I remember my boys rocking LL in like 7th and 8th grade. And then, but by the concert time, I'm in 9th grade. If Kool Moe Dee had won that round on that album, first of all, he wouldn't have won on the album because you're talking about the biggest, most iconic label in hip-hop, Def Jam. And so he got the machine behind him, plus he got the youthful vigor, plus he got the skill. So yeah, that's a no-win situation for Kool Moe Dee.
All right, no doubt. Let me get Eddie back in here. Eddie, you good?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah. So what's your take?
Cool.
What happens if Moe Dee beats LL?
I think the thing is, LL is too versatile. You know what I mean? He was going he had party joints, he had battle joints, he had songs for the ladies. So I feel like if, let's say he lost a battle, he lost his credibility as far as battling a little bit. He could have made some, joints for the ladies or some other kind of joints, that, party joints or whatnot, kind of make some hits in that lane and kind of keep his relevance and then maybe come back. I do agree. I don't think he would have went down easily. And then, even if, let's say the majority felt he lost the battle, I do agree. Who said it? I think Vern said it. LL had the youth, you know what I mean? So the youth, the younger fans who are probably gonna, give him more longevity, like they were probably still rocking with him, even if the majority felt that LL lost the battle. So if he comes out with the next album, they'll probably still rock with him, even though he lost.
Right. Good points, everybody. Y'all have swayed me to believe that LL would not have been out of here because that was my initial reaction. But I am now thinking that he has not taken L's in battles. But again, when I heard Going Back to Cali, I was like, what the fuck is this? This shit is whack. You know what I mean?
Man, we bumped Going Back to Cali down here, bro. That knock.
Yeah, see, that's that downside. Well, I know, again, I only speak for my neighborhood. In Philly, we was like, we weren't ready for that. Now years later, I can appreciate it. But at that time, when you're getting bigger and deafer and those songs, and you hear, I get the 12-inch, you got Going Back to Cali. That was the Black Flames and Public Enemy would Bring the Noise off the Less Than Zero soundtrack. But that was on it. And the video, we were just like, yo, what the fuck is this? But he bounces back all the time. I'm going to skip one battle to get to a more intense one. Cube versus N.W.A. 1991. Y'all know the history. Cube leaves N.W.A. Comes out here, makes one of the greatest hip-hop albums ever with the Bomb Squad, America's Most Wanted. And then he drops the No Vaseline diss track.
Ooh, Lord.
Most people, I know a lot of people say this is the craziest diss track ever in the history of hip-hop. But let's just say that whatever No Vaseline was, N.W.A. had a comeback for it. And it was even worse than No Vaseline. And N.W.A. wins that battle. I can't remember, Vague. I know Cube is your favorite MC, so you probably know the lineage better than me. Was No Vaseline is on the second album, right?
Second.
Yeah, well, let me correct that certificate. Biggie's my favorite MC.
Oh, I apologize. I thought Cube was your favorite. I apologize. No disrespect.
That certificate is my favorite album.
Okay, all right, cool. cool. No disrespect to the borough. So most wanted. So we have that foundation. And what I'm starting to hear and agree with a lot of you all is if you have the album that's the foundation, it's easier to take an L and bounce back. If you don't have the album, that's the foundation. Because that's what Tone was saying about Criminal Minded was there. LL already had Radio and Bigger and Deffer. So what does this do to Q if he takes an L to N.W.A. like that? Vay, Death Certificate is your favorite album. What does this do to Q? Or does it do anything to Q?
I don't think it does anything because the first time I heard No Vaseline, I don't know if it was different for everybody else, but it was on Death Certificate. And Death Certificate was already hot. You take No Vaseline off, this album is already incredible by itself. So I think his status as an MC, as an artist, doesn't really change. That's No Vaseline adds on to that legend. But I think N.W.A. releases a third album as a result. Because, maybe they work some things out. Maybe, maybe they get some energy back from that. But I think the combination of Q having a solid album, a dope album, a classic album, along with this devastating diss record that just breaks the crew down from not only a lyrical standpoint, but also their finances, right? Their manhood, everything. It kind of makes it where you can only see it from N.W.A. side because they never released another album after No Vaseline. So I think that's what it changes. Maybe we get more out of the group N.W.A. Shit, maybe we get an actual reunion at some point, as a result. So that's what I think.
All right, God, what you think about this joint? N.W.A. wins.
I think it's the reverse of how everything else been. I still think it prolongs the inevitable. I still think N.W.A. break up, but I think that them winning gives them some temporary a temporary reason to celebrate. You know what I'm saying? But I still think Dre is unhappy with the business or whatever. I don't think Jerry Heller and Eazy-E changed no contracts or no shit because they won no battle or nothing like that. I think as far as Q, I think he continued to make music, but I think he might have started acting a little bit sooner because it was still that era to where like fans was rabid as fuck, like, oh, you lost, you know what I'm saying? So not saying it really too much hurt his legacy, but I think he started acting maybe a little sooner, but I think he continued to make music, but I think it just prolonged the inevitable. I still think N.W.A. break up. I feel like at that time that damage had been done as far as like contracts and, you know what I'm saying, Dre feeling how he feels, Suge was already in his ear. So maybe a third album from N.W.A., but I think Q, you know what I'm saying, he continued to do what he do and just maybe just get into acting a little sooner.
Yeah, it's funny because I was thinking it's almost like 3 against 1. So it's almost like getting jumped. So even if you lose, like, nigga, it's me against Ren, Easy, Dre, and DOC writing all your rhymes. So I mean, niggas can't front on me if I get jumped at the train station by 3 niggas and I take an L. It's like, well, nigga, 1 against 3 type. Tone, what you think?
Man, you just made a excellent point, Kill, because at the end of the day, it's Ice Cube against, at the time, the most notorious group still in hip-hop. So if he lose, it's like, okay, so what? I got the Death Certificate and American Most Wanted. I'm still the best like solo MC on the West Coast at the time. You know what I'm saying? So his career still is gonna flourish. Now, let me say something. I'm glad it happened the way it happened because if N.W.A. does win, and if let's just say Dre becomes more patient because some things got better, and they do a third album, maybe there's no Death Row, there's no Chronic, there's no Doggy Style, there's no whole Dr. Dre's tree, no Eminem, 50 Cent, whatever. So I'm glad they got their ass kicked by Ice Cube. You know what I'm saying? But if they would have won, maybe at some point Ice Cube comes back, because the rumor was him and Eazy-E did indeed meet at the tunnel and have a conversation about, a couple of months before he got sick, and maybe he was going to join back and do another album with them. It does nothing to Ice Cube. He has America's Most Wanted, the Bomb Squad. He has Death Certificate. Shit, No Vaseline came on at the end of the damn album. You didn't even know the song was on there. So you just don't even have that on there. You got 2 5-mic albums back to back. So Cube is going to be okay.
Vay, what are you going to say?
I just want to add one quick thing. I think they took their best shot, right? with the whole Benedict Arnold thing. Like they were dumping on that nigga.
Oh, real niggas. Instagram went crazy on real niggas.
Right. They were getting busy, and it didn't make us not like America's Most Wanted, any less. So,
which came first, Real Niggas or New Vaseline? I can't remember. Real Niggas came first.
Real Niggas, yeah.
So that was the first shot. The first shot was Real Niggas.
It was the first direct shot.
Direct shot, yeah.
With no Vaseline,
and it was ill. It was very
that was all.
They got crazy on Real Niggas.
All right, Vern, what about you?
I think even if Cube had lost, here's another component. You just said Bomb Squad. Cube started from the West Coast, but he had the East Coast rocking with him more because of that rift, and so I think he would have survived it. That's all I got on that.
JR?
I was gonna say that too. I was gonna say he's gonna survive anyway. He was messing with the Bomb Squad, so it was like he had the East on him. So again, I think he would have been fine. I don't think nothing would have changed.
Rel?
Yeah, it's so many elements to that would make it, impossible for it to go bad for him, even if he lost. Like, he going against a whole group, number one. So if they won, it looked like they jumped him. It's like, I went against a whole, you know what I'm saying? And then, the whole, like, you start seeing him on songs with Chuck D and, you know what I'm saying? He was on a I think if he would have lost, I don't think nothing would have changed. Like, I don't think much of nothing would have. This is the one battle I don't think much of nothing would have changed. Maybe we got another N.W.A. album out of it, but man, the boy had 2 5-mic classics to me, back to back, starting off. Like, you can't take that away. You know what I'm saying? So, like, you know what I mean?
And he was in Boys in the Hood.
They said Boys in the Hood. You know what I'm saying? He was, I don't think that lost, because it would have looked like, he went up. He would have looked like the brave person that lost. I went against the whole crew. I did my best, but it was too many of them. You know what I'm saying? Braves. Bad choice of words on my part.
You gotta watch what you say around Vern with sports. Man. You can't say shit around him, man. He gonna find some way to bring it back to the home Braves and the Falcons. Eddie, what about you? Does it change anything?
Yeah, well, I think for Cube, I still think Cube does his thing, but I like what Tone said about N.W.A. Like, and I think that's the real ripple effect. Like, getting another album, but then the potential that maybe if Dre sticks with N.W.A. even for 1 album longer, that could affect, the creation of what was it? Aftermath and well, Death Row or whatever else was going on. Right? Yeah, that was Death Row before. Maybe Dr. Dre doesn't leave, and that might affect how all of that comes into play. And maybe if Dr. Dre does eventually leave, maybe it doesn't become Death Row. Maybe it becomes something else. With that time that he stays with N.W.A. So that could change a whole lot of things right there. So I definitely agree with Tone on that.
All right, next battle. I got another one I'm gonna put on hold for now if we got time. The next battle is 1997. We talking Canibus versus LL. Now, one thing. Now I got an asterisk by this battle because this was the first time that folk were not in agreement on who won this battle. To this day,
nigga L lost. This nigga L lost. The L stands for ladies love a losing ass nigga. He lost. He lost.
So tell us how you really feel.
Okay.
So, to this day,
he lost.
Hold tight.
He lost.
So hold tight. So we got to this day. But I think one of the things that I do take away from this, because this is the asterisk, is that my thought process was, why did that change? But I think maybe the 90%, the 99.9% all agreeing on who won was based off of these battles being so uneven. You know what I mean? Like most of these battles, if we're looking at Moe Dee, Busy B, Shan, KRS, LL, Moe Dee, Antoinette, Light, we're getting close with Cube and N.W.A, but No Vaseline was just too venomous to even, because that's probably the closest battle out of all the battles I'm naming. I think Cube versus Ren and Dre and Easy and the DOC writing for is probably the most even battle like up to this point. You know what I mean? Like even Nick helped me realize with Common Cube, I forgot the bitching you was from 1996. You know, so this is Cube, this is old Cube. Like this wasn't 91 Cube. This is like, it's almost like you got Cube when we got Manny Pacquiao and Floyd to fight. Like this 2 years, this 5 years too late. So you know, with that, but with Canibus and LL, you're talking about Canibus in 1997 was probably the dopest MC walking the planet Earth. Like everybody loved Canibus. You know, LL, you know, is coming off of Mr. Smith. He did I Shot Shit. You know, he did the 4-3-2-1 where of course all the hoopla started from. But I always felt like, I personally felt like LL won this by default because I felt like that second round knockout was so subpar that, and then the album that came with it, sorry guys, the album that came, that Canibus album is one of the biggest letdown albums in the
I agree with you on that, but second round knockout being a subpar this?
I was like, yo, I was expecting so much more from Canibus at that time. That, to be honest with you, I don't even know what LL's comeback song was. It was almost like how Shan was like, I don't even know if you had to write a comeback song from that.
Wait, let me go first on this and just get this out the way. Let me just go first on this.
I think you have gone first.
Let me just say this, bro.
How you feel, but go ahead.
Let me just say this, bro. Like, this is my personal opinion how I saw that. You know what I'm saying? So we gonna get into the what if shit too. All right, but okay.
Well, here's the problem. One, we gotta start with who you think won, because it has to be the what if based off of what everybody thinks. Because this is the first battle that's not just a runaway. You know, who won it. So you think Canibus won. So you want? Why don't you tell us why you felt he won, and then talk about if LL won, since you felt Canibus won.
Perfect, because that's exactly what I was gonna get into. All right, to break it down, LL recruit dudes for this song 4-3-2-1. Meth, Red, X, Canibus. This is prior to the remix with Master P and all that. Alright. So he has a problem with Canibus' original verse when he asked to borrow the mic from LL's arm. LL, I'm not faulting him for using that shit as inspiration to come with a dope verse. I mean, if you get inspiration as an MC, you get it where you, as a creative period. Fuck just being an MC. You get inspiration where you could get it from. The whole part about it is Canibus knows is a diss to him. I mean, LL is not trying to hide the shit. He ignores Canibus. Then when they finally talk, he tell him, well, if you change your verse, you can stay on the album. Nigga, what? That's strike one for me. Whole move right there. Whole move. Smart for using it as inspiration, but you try to pull some fake OG shit because it's your album and you whole move. For two, that Jack the Ripper shit was ass. Return of the Ripper, whatever the fuck it was. That was trash.
Yeah, that was bad.
One hot line. That nigga said, ask Canibus. He ain't understanding this because 99% of his fans don't exist. That's the only decent ass body. That shit was 5 minutes and 30 seconds of dumpster juice. Like, and I don't like going at the legends like this. I don't like going at the legends because LL paved the way for what it is that I do. But I'm gonna keep it all the way funky. Chitlin's funky in this motherfucker. Like, nah, fam. Nah, and then to say Canibus had a subpart diss. Come on, man. Like that. I mean, that whole song.
I have not played Second Round Knockout since 1997.
That whole song was basically a breakdown, really, maybe of what a motherfucker who don't know LL from the 80s think about his career. Because as a shorty, me being 12 in 98 or whatever, you know what I'm saying, when that shit came out, I'm looking like, yeah, he got In a House. That's a dope show. I like Shut Him Down. I like 4-3-2-1, but all his other shit, I wasn't really with his girl records. I didn't really care for that shit. That's me, you know what I'm saying, as a shorty, but I'm 12. What the fuck do I know? But I'm riding with Canibus because what he, like how motherfuckers say how Jay-Z summed up Nas's career supposedly in his verse for Takeover, the one hot album every 10-year average, which was a fucking lie. You know what I'm saying?
That was a lie. Cool. That was a lie.
Right, but that's how I feel about what Canibus was saying. That's how I feel about what Canibus is saying about L.
That was a lie.
Right. So
My bad.
So basically, my two gripes with that, to why I feel like Canibus won. Canibus definitely had the better bars. You know what I'm saying? Second round knockout was much better than fucking Return of the Ripper. And L was just on some whole shit in the beginning to begin with. Now, let's go to the what if shit. If okay, everybody's saying that LL won. Let's just say for the sake of argument he didn't. So if LL really won, I feel like it does exactly what it did, being that he did win. It prolongs his career. He get a few more albums out of the shit. He remains hot for a little while longer. I don't think that battle killed Canibus' career. I think that album and his affiliation with Wyclef and industry standards kills Canibus' career. Yeah. Because there's no way you could kill a whole mixtape scene for as long as Canibus did at the level he did and release an album like that. That's just like, that was some label shit. Like, bro, we not investing no more into this. Like, you did absolutely nothing for us. We lost money. So I don't think LL had nothing. I think LL maybe threw some salt in the wound, but I think Canibus was just such a fucking disappointment compared to what he did on his mixtape run. At that point in time, that was 98. You know what I'm saying? Like, that was kind of like the last of the era where you had one shot. And this was still in the era that gave the stigma to battle rappers couldn't make, or mixtape rappers couldn't make, you know what I'm saying, good albums. So he kind of like proved that shit right. So I feel like the what if is a what was, you know what I'm saying? Like, LL won to most people. What was supposed to happen happened exactly how it should have happened. So that's the what if. Reality is the what if in this situation to me.
All right, Vague, you're shaking your head. What you got?
Well, as far as who I thought won, I thought Canibus won. When that nigga said, you know, I battle you in front of your first, second, and third born, make your mom sit on the horn, call Minister Farrakhan, I was like,
stop! What?
He wasn't fucking with. LL wasn't fucking with those kind of bars. Like, he just wasn't. And I didn't like his diss. The best part about LL's diss record was, for me, was when he was mocking Mike Tyson. When he was like, I eat. I thought that shit was hilarious. You know what I'm saying? But I was like, you know, but the what if, this is LL Cool J, man. It doesn't matter. I thought Canibus won. It ain't do shit to LL for me at all. It's just like, well, he's supposed to lose. If he can beat this young buck, this nigga is the GOAT. Like, you know what I'm saying? Right. But I don't think it changes much anyway, because I never felt like LL won that battle. And he had hot ass records out at the time. He just the battle was like a sideline shit. He already had hits on the radio in the late 90s. So I don't think
big, man. The culture didn't want LL to lose. I don't think the culture was gonna let LL lose that.
That's like
big, man.
An NBA player going to the Rucker and some street ball dude getting them, but it's like, okay, you still ain't in the NBA.
Right.
Well, you know what it is. It's the AI crossing Jordan, right?
Right.
He crossed the shit out of Jordan. Right. Jordan still had 30-something points and won the game. So
right.
It's funny because the funny thing about this battle, when Ev had to pull up clips from the writer's bench, I done forgot who won the battle. I done said sometimes on the writer's bench, LL won. I done came back 3 episodes later, said Canibus won. Came back another year, said L. I don't even remember who the fuck I called won this battle. So, who do you have winning this battle with this change?
Well, you know, initially I preferred the second round knockout. So from a battle perspective, I thought Canibus was winning. You know what I'm saying? What made him lose to me was Canibus. If he'd have dropped a dope solo debut, then that would have took Canibus over the top. So he fumbled the damn ball his own fucking self. And then when LL had the GOAT album, that track "Where I Belong" on there, you can sleep about that damn song. Man, get that ripple. Yeah. "Where I Belong" with Ja Rule on the hook, and L.
If he would have dropped,
you know what I'm saying? But people don't remember that song. Go back.
I never heard it, honestly.
A lot of people have. Go back.
Listen to it. He kicked that nigga while he was down. That's why I like.
Then he
kicked him and spit him while he was down.
And then he said, "The Vanguard Award still in my damn living room, nigga."
Mm-hmm. But see, to my point, this whole battle mirrors the Kool Moe Dee and LL shit. The only difference between Moe Dee and LL was the OG, but LL was still hot at the end. I would say he was at the end of his prime. In his prime, but at the end of his prime. You know what I'm saying? But and with the song y'all talking about from the GOAT album, I feel like that was the whole Jay-Z with the Blueprint 2 track. If he would have put out Blueprint 2 instead of Super Ugly, maybe he would have swayed my. If he would have put out the shit from the GOAT, maybe that would have swayed my judgment. But it came too little, too late. Like second round knockout, I wasn't trying to hear shit after that, especially because I gave an honest ear to Return of the Ripper. That shit was trash. So maybe if you would have replaced that shit with the song y'all talking about, maybe okay. My opinion is different.
That's a fair point. Point.
Vern, what about you?
Yeah, like I said, those are nice bars. You did good, man. You did good, but he's still LL, and you didn't follow it up. It's the thing.
So is this the crossover? I crossed you up, but then I ripped the shot.
You're right, and that's okay. There you go, right there.
Yeah.
So it's like, all right, you did a thing, but you ain't consistent. So you ain't in our league. You know, on a given night, somebody that can play ball can go get you some buckets, but can you do that over an 86 game season? If you can't, what are we talking about? And he's proven that he couldn't. But I feel
that, but I don't think LL that get LL a victory though. Not he might have won the battle. I think he won that battle though.
I think for me, because I can't even remember who the fuck I said won over the years, I just feel like it's a draw. Like to me, this was like I don't give a fuck battle because I agree with what God is saying is that what happened. Like the what if is what really happened in real life almost, you know. So whether you think L won or Canibus won, their careers did probably exactly what we could sit here and say. What if this person won or that person won? You know what I mean? Because if you feel like Canibus won, this nigga still had a trash ass career.
And let me say something about Canibus real quick. Him winning might have been his damn curse because the rumor was Canibus was hard to fucking work with. He had DJ Premier, all these niggas trying to work with him, and even though he was losing, he still was hard. He couldn't even get in the studio with these guys. He thought he was too good. So you make him beat LL Cool J, you know, what does he do? You know what I'm saying? Because he can't even work with the best beat makers in the damn game.
Honestly, I like that better as a what if. I like what Tone just said because what if Canibus winning is the popular consensus and he fucking self-destruct because he too high on his own supply. I like that better as the what if.
Well, he turned down Devil's Pie.
They said Canibus turned down Devil's Pie.
Right. Devil's Pie.
He ain't won Devil's Pie.
Oh, are you serious?
Yeah, he did.
And that's how D'Angelo got it. That beat was a win for So
DJ Premier said he sent Canibus several beats and he rejected every last one of them. This Primo in the night.
But do we think that? Do we think that's Canibus or do we think that's Wyclef in this air? Because Wyclef,
well, you know, when you're the artist, you got to fight sometime. Like I want them fucking beats. You know
what if Wyclef was his only? What if Wyclef was his only foot in the game? Because that's how that whole battle. That's how that whole battle with LL happened. He was trying to get under L's wing. He wanted to be L's little homie, but L mushed his ass like, little nigga, get out of here. All he had was Wyclef. You know what I'm saying? He said that shit. He said that.
And L told Wyclef, don't even cut your fucking mic on. Shut him the fuck up.
Facts. He definitely did. But come on, Wyclef, we ain't nobody's skipping Wyclef.
I got a lot of
about Let's go, Ram. Let's go.
I said Wyclef's diss record was actually good. I don't know if anybody remember.
He diss L?
He did.
Hell yeah, y'all remember that? It was more like a freestyle more than anything.
I was listening to the radio and I don't remember that one.
Wow.
I do. I can find it. I'll find it and send it. Kill, I just wanted to, for that battle, just point out this one thing about that, the dynamic. It's a little different. Moe Dee and Busy B, they're close in era, right? Same thing with Ice Cube, N.W.A. LL came out in the 80s. Canibus is brand new in the late 90s. So this is like a different dynamic. So when LL put out that Return of the Ripper, it's like, when was the first Ripper? Like 12 years ago? Like, so there's a whole audience that's like, Return of the who? Like, get the fuck out of here. Like, nobody wants to hear it. Shit, even I did. And I like it. And I was like, this shit sounds like some old corny shit. Like,
that shit was trash, bro. I'm sorry.
JR, what you got on that?
Well, I agree with y'all. I mean, Canibus definitely won. I had an angry household when they heard second round knockout. So,
Oh shit.
oh yeah, my dad was pissed. He was pissed because he's LL his favorite MC. But and then when he came out with that weak ass phenomenon, you don't even talk about that album with my dad. My dad like that shit sucks. So when he went and brought Canibus, he was like, well, I mean, his album sucked anyway, so it ain't gonna matter. So LL is gonna be fine. Because he was like, he's the legend anyway. And then this dude disses him with second round knockout and like, all right, he got him. And then let me listen to this dude album. Oh, that shit trash. LL, we good. So he was good. You know what I'm saying? So, but
yeah, I love the fact that your pop was a hip hop head and you being a shorty were able to sit under him.
Yeah,
because I love when you're talking because you're younger, but you be like, "Yo, my pop said," and it's like that's just dope because that's showing you the generation.
He was like, he was pissed because he was like, "Yo, what? Who is this cat? Like, who is this dude?" And then when it was like that came out, I just remember my dad just sitting there like, "What the fuck is going on?" Like, oh like shit.
Tyson got knocked out by Buster Douglas.
Yeah, like what?
Rel, what you got? Does anything change? Well, who do you think won, and does anything change?
Canibus lost, man. He lost.
Come on, Ram.
What y'all talking about?
All right, ladies and gentlemen. All right, gentlemen.
He lost. He lost because listen, I'm gonna tell you why. This is a battle. There's several things that go into a battle besides your lyrics. He lost. I'm gonna tell you why he lost. Number one, he is the hot at the time. Canibus was the hottest thing smoking. Nobody wanted no smoke with him. He was
Pun did, and Canibus ducked that smoke. I will give him that.
He was that dude. He was that dude. There's no way, with all of that momentum and all that you let LL who have been out for 20 years. It shouldn't even have been a question, bro. Like. It shouldn't even been a question. Y'all bring up lyrics from that song, but that song he had some hot lines in that song, but who's really listening to that song? That song, I listened to it when it first came out, but I probably listened to it since then. You know what I'm saying? And overall, to beat LL, you gotta do more than that. You can't do that and then come out with that album. And then once LL got you down, when he put out Back Where I Belong, it was like you felt bad for Canibus when you heard that shit. Like that's serious.
Yeah, I never heard it.
Canibus's career was was going down, and it was like disappointing. And
he kicked them with
that. If you go
that.
back and listen to Back Where I Belong, it's like somebody on the ground and stomping on him. Like the stuff he was saying, it was fucking up.
It was
and
fucked
you
up.
Felt bad. Yeah, it was.
It was disrespectful, y'all. It was so
the song is fire. You know what I'm saying? You gotta go listen to it.
No, right.
Put it in the context of the battle, and you gonna be like, damn, like, cause think about it. The album came out with such a disappointment, right? That and then LL was able to keep going, and putting out hits and progressing. He had that out so long, like there's no way he should have destroyed him. But
I mean, maybe bro.
There was no way.
There was no way Canibus would have destroyed no L. L was that jam still at that time.
No.
Didn't we just say that about the
finish? Can I finish?
Let Ralph finish.
Can I finish? What I'm saying is, all these crazy lyrics y'all talk about, like, I know where I was at. We was like, yeah, that's nice, that's cool, that's cool, but like your album is ass, and you're like, you're done now. Like, who are you?
But we keep reaching back to the album. I'm just talking about the battle. I'm talking about second round knockout versus the Return of the Ripper. Just that within that one room.
Because it's more in that battle.
Y'all talking about the war. I'm talking about the battle. Y'all talking the war. LL won the war.
Bro, we are just talking about, we're just talking songs. We're talking Bridget. So
both of them was ass.
I thought the beat was whack. I'm like, damn, this is what. This ain't what I want to crank in my car. To me, if anything of what Rel was saying that I'm seeing is that it wasn't a good diss song. The Bridge is Over is an incredible song. Not just a diss track. It's an incredible song that I play. These songs, 10% diss, incredible song. Incredible song. Great beat, great rhymes. Second Round Knockout to me was not a great beat at all. That I will probably, like I said, I probably haven't heard that shit since 1997 and probably will never hear it again because it was nothing in there that was that venomous that made me be like, I mean, the 10% of your, 90% of your fans wear high heels. So, but I do also understand God's point is that we're not talking about the song that came afterwards. So the song that this is the battle, you know, and if we take away,
okay,
you're right, he didn't follow through. We're just talking about this.
Okay, them two songs against them two songs against each other. Both of them were subpar.
So
and
you give it a draw.
Both of them were subpar. So what happened after it? He lost because both of them were subpar. You still lost. That was it. The beat was trash. You said some good lines. You dissing somebody you look up to, calling them whack, but you model your fucking career after them. Come on, man. I ain't.
Even if you want to say both songs was trash, Canibus shit is at the top of the trash. That LL shit was soaking at the bottom in the trash juice. That shit was nasty, salty trash. I ain't trying to hear that, bro. I ain't trying to hear it, bro.
Here's the great part.
It's at the top of the trash, but it's still trash.
I don't care top or the bottom, it's still trash. If that's your opinion, cool, but it still levels the trash as well. That shit wasn't trash to me.
No, it ain't. No,
it wasn't trash to me.
Okay.
Hey, some trash gets recycled. Some trash is going to the landfill.
Everybody, okay, cool. Okay, it's both trash. Let's move on. Eddie, how do you feel about Canibus versus LL?
I think the way it was stated.
Hey, Human Tornado was good trash. Okay.
It's trash. Like that shit's going out. You're trash. Bottom, top. I don't give a fuck. It's trash.
Okay, right. Real, we got you, bro.
Hey, real. You know Call my thing, bro.
So, I felt Canibus had the better diss track. I felt like Canibus diss track was more lyrical. However, I think that the response, I remember the response that LL's response got. Even though I felt that Canibus was better, I feel like with the response that LL's got, I felt like Canibus should have responded once more. With, you know, like one more knockout punch. I feel like he didn't respond again with that because, all right, second round knockout, right? You know, so he named it second round knockout. So in that case, he wasn't going to respond again. But I feel like Canibus needed to, and because Canibus didn't, I feel like they, you know, the LL fans were able to shape the narrative, and it didn't help that Canibus's album was trash. You know, but that's more of a war thing. You know what I mean? That's more of a war thing.
But don't talk about his album. We're talking about these songs. Don't mention that.
See, that's the only part that I agree with, like, real with right there. Like, as I gotta disagree with you right there, Eddie, because like if he would. Canibus had bigger fish to fry with that. His album was out. Second Round Knockout was a single off his album. It just so happened to come in a time where he was battling L. So that album was trash and the verdict was already out. So whether he would have came back again, it would have just been like, bro, get the fuck out of here. Like that, like everybody said, the album was whack. I'm just talking about in this small little area of Second Round Knockout versus Return of the Ripper. Like, I'm not talking about L clearly won the war. You know what I'm saying? We know who had the legacy, the long-lasting legacy, who the GOAT until Jay and Nas was and all that shit. And we see what happened to Canibus. You know what I'm saying? He fell off into obscurity.
Long-lasting legacy.
Right. So
let's not do a Moe Dee thing.
You know, so I'm a flip it a little bit. I feel like, even though I feel like Canibus had the better diss track, I feel like if I put it like this. I feel like if Canibus had the better song, like if he dropped a better song, right? If he dropped a diss track like Ether that had replay value over the years, or even like The Bridge Is Over that has replay value over the years, I don't feel like that Canibus diss track had replay value. So over the years, so I feel like if he dropped a joint like that, maybe it would have been a bit of a different situation for him. But then again, his album was still trash. So I don't know.
I don't buy the whole replay value shit when it comes to diss tracks though, because personally, I'm not banging diss tracks driving down the road. Like, don't get me wrong, the most vicious diss tracks are going to be the most vicious diss tracks, and they hold their place in history. I don't buy replay value when it comes to diss tracks though, because me as a listener, I'm not riding around listening to the majority diss tracks. I'm listening to albums.
The thing is, I feel you, but the thing is that there's times when I'm like, I want to hear The Bridge Is Over. There are times I'm like, I want to hear 10% this. It's to me, music is like a girl. It's like, yo, I want to call Shorty. I miss her. Let me call and see how she doing. I don't call a second round knockout. Is that more nostalgia? Is that more nostalgia of your era and where you was at that point in time in your life? See, second round knockout was my era. I was 12. So I was the highly impressionable young nigga. Right. So that may be the difference.
That's what I'm saying, and that's what I think it is.
So maybe that's what it is.
That's what I think it is.
To me, but even I won't hold you. I'll throw on Ether, and that was 2001. I love listening to Ether.
I can't tell you the last time I listened to Ether, No Vaseline. I would listen to No Vaseline if I have Death Certificate on. But it's in the context of a whole album. You know what I'm saying? Like,
it may be nostalgia. I like Ether, so there are times when, just like I said, like a shorty. If I like a shorty, I'ma call her. I may miss her. And it's like, yo, let me give her a call, see what she's doing. There are times that I'm in the mood for some Ether. I may want to feel like laughing. So I'm like, yo, I want to put on some Ether. You know what I mean? Or it's definitely going to make my Best of Nas playlist. If I'm making the Best of Nas, Ether's going to be on there. If we going through a Best of Canibus, well, I'm not going to make a Best of Canibus. That wouldn't be on there. Best of Canibus. If I'm making a Best of BDP, The Bridge Is Over is going to be on there. If I make the Best of Light, 10% This is going to be on there because they're great songs. I will say a great song, not just.
I will say if I'm going back listening to this, is second round knockout is not going to be my first, second, or third, or fourth, or fifth choice. I'm just saying in that confinement of that against LL shit. Yeah. Second round knockout was clearly better.
And so here's my last.
We got about 5 more seconds for this because we just gonna keep going back and forth about that. What you got?
I was gonna say my last point is that if you win a battle, you got to capitalize off of winning, and Canibus did not capitalize. That's my last point.
Bro.
Yeah. So before Nas, LL was my favorite rapper, so I get defensive. So
we see. We see. We see. I'm wondering if I'm
a hip hop head. Like, hey, I'm a hip hop head. This shit don't faze me. Like, I'm the same way. Yeah. I'm the same way.
All right, so let's go here. We got 2001 Jay-Z versus Nas. Another battle to this day that I hear people saying. I have some people saying Jay won, some people saying Nas won. Vague, Queensbridge affiliate, Ill Will's cousin. Who won this battle, Nas or Jay-Z? And then how does it change if the other person does win?
Well, I think Nas won the battle. I think if it was reversed, I think I think it'd be. I don't know if it would change that much for Nas because he had Nostradamus. Shit was not good. We were already kind of feeling like, you know, it might be over, right? You know, so losing a battle and Jay-Z's already hot just kind of confirms what we kind of already thinking. But to an earlier point, Stillmatic is still a great album and a great comeback from Nostradamus, and I don't think it's totally predicated off of what, you know, the battle. You know, It felt more like Godson was more of a response to that battle because it felt more like Nas responding on several tracks, whereas you could tell Stillmatic was something that he was already working on. Ether just happened to be
in the midst of that,
right? Feature in that Braveheart Party bullshit. But yeah, I and look, the main reason me and Tone did a whole episode so y'all can shut up and we broke it down completely. And the thing is the only reason why I feel like Nas won, I don't believe all that. Oh, it was all lies. No, it wasn't, nigga. Because some of that shit, I'm telling you, me and my friends were saying some of that shit before Nas wrote it.
Talk that shit, Vegas.
The whole Eminem murder. I remember we was in my room at Morgan Kill, and we was listening to, what is it, S. Carter?
Yeah.
And Renegade came on, and, you know, we was listening, and we looked at each other like, Eminem kind of killed that shit. You know what I'm saying? He was like, this shit kind of better than Jay-Z verse. Or you other, you know, use fucking, I don't want to get into it with these social media niggas. Dave Chappelle said it's not a real place, and I agree. But the thing is like, you know, it was mostly because it's the timing. That's the thing you got to look at with all these battles. It's the timing of what you're already working on, where your status is in the game, where the game is going, right? Is LL done for? Is Canibus a new thing? That's the same thing with Nas and Jay-Z. It looked like Nas was declining. Jay-Z was starting to look like shit. I might think he might be the king of New York. And, you know, Nas' diss record just reminded people of him. So I think if it was reversed, I think Nas is still capable of putting out albums, but the comeback isn't as big, put it that way.
Right.
And Jay-Z doesn't take a hit. That's the other thing.
The hard
Jay-Z
part
albums kind of declining.
The hard part is Jay takes the hit, and I'm sure these rappers from the 80s are like, yo, what the fuck? I'm in the wrong era, because it's like, this nigga's a billionaire. Like, he lost the battle and became a fucking billionaire. It's like, I know Antoinette and Shan, like, yo, what the fuck? How you lose and now you a billionaire? So, boom, Tone, who you got in this joint? Nas or Jay?
Well, I thought Nas won, but just one narrative I want to kill. You know, Nostradamus doesn't even happen if Nas is not leaked on. All his music got leaked on Napster. And people keep forgetting that he's the first MC to get leaked on Napster with basically a full damn project of songs, like 20 songs leaked. So there wouldn't have been a Nostradamus. I Am Nostradamus was double CD. See, he would have never fell off, so Jay wouldn't have had shit to talk about.
And that would have been his third classic in a row.
He would have been 3 classics in a damn row. You know what I'm saying? Nas was on fire. If you listen to the lost tapes, that was the shit that got leaked several years before. I had all of it at the crib. You know what I'm saying? I had like 2 CDs worth of Nas songs from Napster. I was burning that shit in college. In my senior year, I think, or whatever. But I graduated, but anyway. So I thought Nas won, but I think one of the reasons why he won was because Jay-Z got emotional and ran back to the studio and did Super Ugly instead of being patient. If Blueprint 2 would have been his response, Jay-Z would have won.
Just like I said.
Blueprint 2 was vicious. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you listen to the Blueprint 2 diss track, he was focused.
He was precise.
Now, of course, Nas did come back with Last Real Nigga Alive, and some people think that was the bury the hatchet right there and all this shit like that. But I think Jay had a chance of winning if the Super Ugly was shock value. But I think when people go back and listen to it again, like, he was kind of reaching. The shit was kind of corny, you know what I'm saying? And so he by default. But either way, Jay losing doesn't do anything to him, because by the time Blueprint 1 come out, he the number 1 MC in hip hop. So he took a little damage from Nas, but it doesn't really matter. Nas winning.
How do you bounce back? Because I love what you said. He got emotional. He did Super Ugly. I remember him going to Angie Martinez. He's on the radio. His
stuttering all over the damn mic.
It was embarrassing.
Like, you took it too far. And you could hear the defeatedness in Jay. Like, you could hear him on the radio. You had never heard Jay with that.
It was bad.
It was horrible.
It was bad.
Help me with the timetable. What does he bounce back with that with? So this is after Blueprint. So is it Blueprint 2? How does Jay get out of this?
Well, he came back with the Bonnie and Clyde and all that. But again, we're talking about Jay-Z basically in his prime. So even though he went on the radio bitching, and you can tell that he felt like, damn, Nas got me and all this stuff. At the end of the day, these are heavyweights. He's a legend by this time. He just kept making good music. You know what I'm saying? Good features,
and then
good albums, whatever.
And had a Def Jam and
he just kept making good music. You can't stop nobody that large, like you can't stop LL. So Jay-Z was basically LL at this time. You know what I'm saying? You can't stop that. You can throw him in the corner. You can rock him a little bit, but he's still Jay-Z. He's gonna still make, Hovey Baby and right after that. You know what I'm saying? And shit like that.
Tone, real quick. to Kill's question though, what happens to Nas if Jay-Z wins? Because that's really the question.
Well, I think Stillmatic is gonna still be a good album, but it doesn't have the same 5 mic impact. So he doesn't get the 5 mics for Stillmatic to me. He probably gets 4 mics. You don't get either on there, but you get.
Stillmatic got 5 mics in the source.
Yeah, he got 5 mics in the source. Yeah, Braveheart partnership was terrible. But anyway, he doesn't get 5 mics to me because I still feel like Stillmatic's like 4.5. They gave it an extra 5 for the media, for hype. But Blueprint 1 is better than fucking Stillmatic. And then Nas my favorite MC. You know what I'm saying? So Nas fights a little harder to get back where he is. You know what I'm saying? It might take him a little bit longer to get to the top again. You know what I'm saying? But the battle of him winning put him right back for a quick moment as the number 1 MC in New York over Jay-Z. Right, that don't happen to him if he loses.
Vern, what you think? Who do you think won the battle first?
I guess Nas, but Nas and Jay-Z are interesting comparisons. They're pretty much of the same era. They're both large, but they're large in different ways. Not everybody knows who Nas is, but everybody knows who Jay-Z is, and I think you understand what I mean by that. Their career trajectories were already going differently anyway. And so Jay is more popular. Not saying he's a pop artist, but his content and everything behind him is just taking him in a different trajectory than Nas, regardless if Nas wins or loses. And so I don't know if it would have done anything different.
I said the same thing. All right, what about you, God?
I definitely think Nas won. I do think Stillmatic was worthy of 5 mics, only because the fashion in which he came back in, and that is the album that gave us Rewind, one of the greatest, if not the greatest, storytelling track in hip hop. You know what I'm saying? But I definitely feel like he won. I feel like if Jay wins, I feel like he just becomes more who he is. I mean, that's a big notch in his belt. I mean, because Nas was that dude for the East Coast and rap period, you know what I'm saying? Up until like Biggie came out and shit like that. But I think unfortunately, I think Nas disappeared because he was already basically gone as it was. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying I don't think he come back with more music, but I think that would have been like the door shutting. That would have been the end of, okay, we don't want to hear from you as the fan era. You know what I'm saying? Like, you lose this, we already thought you was out of here. Jay just put the nail in the coffin. You know what I'm saying? Because I was like, damn, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's fucked up. You know what I'm saying? Because I was just getting into Nas. Again, I'm born in 86, so I didn't initially get the impact of Illmatic and It Was Written. I wasn't of age to feel what the streets felt like when those two dropped. I got on Nas doing I Am. I'm a contemporary rap music baby. That's what it was called when I was coming of age, contemporary rap albums. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just getting into Nas, and I like this dude because I see myself in him. You know what I'm saying? But it's like everybody on J Dig in my neighborhood, and I'm like, whatever, he all right. So when that shit happened, I'm like, damn, I just got on this dude 98, 99. Here it is, 2000, 2001. It don't look like he finna get up. So I was super happy when he dropped Ether. You know what I'm saying? So if Jay win, it's clear cut. I think he's the undisputed GOAT. You know what I'm saying? Nas is my GOAT. You know what I'm saying? But it's a lot of debate within that. That's neither here nor there. But I think Jay is the undisputed GOAT because Nas having that notch in your belt is such a big notch. Because Nas is Nas. It's Mr. Illmatic. You know what I'm saying? Mr. It Was Written. So to have that notch in your belt that you could say, okay, I'll put Nas out of commission. I'll put Nas out of business. I did that. That just makes Jay more of who he is. Jay's trajectory continued to skyrocket, and I think Nas disappeared. But I'm glad it went how it actually went.
Let me one quick point. About 7 years before this Jay and Nas battle, they was calling Nas the fucking golden child. They call him that for a reason. Yeah. He's fucking skilled. Again, it's like a boxer. He's Floyd Mayweather. He lose a fight, he's still gonna come back and be a champ. Jay-Z can't bury Nas. When you hold those type of talent levels, yeah, it might take Nas a little longer, this is my opinion, to get back to where he need to be at. You don't bury that kind of talent. Like I said, just 2 years before that, all this shit got leaked. You know what I'm saying? On the damn website.
I'm just talking about as far as like the commercial. The commercial consensus. I remember nobody in the streets when Takeover came out.
The only person I knew even thinking Nas, I remember my barber was the biggest Nas fan I know. He like
only diehard Nas fans was fucking with Nas while Takeover was
Almost
out.
everybody
And as a shorty, I know that.
Some people thought like Nas is not MC Shan. The Takeover is dope, but he's not MC Shan. This ain't Bridges Over. I knew this
Yes.
I had no doubt. Straight up.
You say vague?
Huh?
No, I thought you were saying something.
Oh nah, yeah. I won't say, it sounds awkward to say I'm not the biggest Nas fan. He's not my favorite MC. Obviously, it's Biggie. But when I heard the Takeover, I thought it was over.
A lot of people did. Everybody did.
A lot.
Yeah,
It wasn't just the bars. It was everything. It was what Nostradamus was. It was where people saw Nas at that moment. It's where people saw Jay-Z. Jay-Z was the king of New York. He took that shit back. But before that, when I heard that shit, I was like, yeah, man, it might be over.
It was vicious.
Right.
It was vicious, though.
Yeah. JR, what about you?
I ain't gonna too long. I agree with Vern. I just don't think their trajectories was different. So I think nothing would have changed. I don't think, just for me. So I agree with Vern.
Bro, what you think? What if Jay wins the battle? What happens to Nas?
But yeah, Nas won though. Just gonna say that.
Yo, ask me who I think won.
No, I said I know who you think won. I said so if Jay wins, what happens to Nas?
He said who LL.
You're like, LL won that goddamn battle. Oh shit! Next battle, my
LL is my first favorite rapper. Nas is my favorite rapper. Let's get that straight. But I was a freshman at Cobbin when the Takeover dropped, and you know, all of my friends and everybody was with. They teased me like hell. Like they would play it all the time. They would like quote stuff in the cafeteria. Like they really gave me hell. So I don't want to even think about if Nas would, like I don't know what would have happened with me personally. I would have wound up fighting one of them niggas. They teased me so bad, like it was bad. And
that whole time, real quick,
good.
because my brain sucks. The Takeover came out. That was September 11th, 2001, right? And then
that's when Blueprint dropped.
That's the Blueprint dropped.
That's when Blueprint dropped. So Takeover was out before that.
Yeah, he performed at Summer Jam.
It was at Summer Jam, like June.
He did the Summer Jam. Yeah, he did the Summer Jam thing.
So what was the space between Takeover and
verse? He added a verse at the end, right?
Takeover and Ether. So how much time?
It was almost like a year, wasn't it?
No.
Not that long.
Go ahead.
Because I know it dropped on Jay's birthday. It dropped on December 4th.
There you go. There you go. That's the difference.
So December 4th for the same year.
Okay.
Yeah. So it was basically, if he did that verse at Summer Jam with like 6 months, Nas didn't say anything. And then out of nowhere comes Ether.
He did the Stillmatic shit. He did the Stillmatic shit. The freestyle.
That little freestyle. Being Rakim, but
play the full freestyle.
Yeah, remember the Summer Jam joint was just.
I thought that was just Prodigy.
It was a tease to the last verse.
And it had a Nas verse.
Ask Nas, he don't want to withhold, and that was it.
That's all it said.
That was the shot. It was the bait. Like, ask Nas, he don't want to withhold, but he didn't say nothing else.
And then
he added 2 verses.
And he added 2 verses on the
Nas.
And he added the verses. And then Takeover came out. And it was so. Go ahead, my fault.
No, I was just saying. So Takeover was like when we heard the Blueprint. So basically, like September, and Nas responds in December. So like
on his birthday,
right. So 2 months of flow.
Oh, ain't gonna let that one go on that nigga birthday.
That's gotta be one of the greatest disses ever. The fact that I'm gonna release this on your born day, like my nigga, celebrating. You gonna be,
that's crazy.
You gonna be in the club celebrating. Niggas gonna be looking at you like you just got killed.
And that's exactly how that shit happened too. That's exactly how that happened.
Dame
played it in the club.
Dame talk about that.
I saw an interview with Emilio Sparks. He was like, they were in the club when they first heard it. And they was like looking at each other like, yo, man. And that's
like
why
somebody go snatch the DJ out the booth, goddamn it.
Yeah, they was like, yo, this is. And so I was when it dropped, I went around the dorms like I won a championship. Okay, because they gave me they gave me so much hell, man. They gave me so much hell when it was and like it was a down time in Nas's career and personal life, because that was around the time when his mom got sick, you know. So he was kind of like out of the limelight a little bit. So if he would have, I don't know what I don't want to say he would have been done, but the because he's too talented to just be done. But the comeback would have took a lot longer. It would have took a lot more effort. Because you know, Ether, like you can tell that Jay lost that joint. Like you could just tell. Like you never hear him lacking that much confidence in his voice. And then you know what I'm saying. It was just like That's
because his soul was burning when he did that interview.
Hey, but Ray, you remember? Hey, Ray, did you ever see that Memphis Bleak interview with Bleak? Now I know Bleak talk a lot of stupid shit, but he was honest one interview and said
on Drink Champs
studio. They was in the studio and that shit came. They played it again. It got quiet, and they said, "Man, it was like a funeral in that motherfucker." And everybody in Rockefeller was listening to the Ether, and everybody got quiet, and Jay-Z got up and walked out.
Oh damn!
So burned slow.
Are you serious?
And can we please? And while we doing this, can we please stop the narrative that Ether didn't have no fucking factuals to it? Because if we want to be honest, one of them verses about Nas from Takeover was just popular fucking opinion. Popular opinion does not equal fact. So can we please stop this narrative that Ether was not facts and it was just a bunch of your mama jokes? Let's stop that, because it was not. All y'all was quoting Ether. I was there with y'all. All motherfuckers was quoting Ether, and then 10 years later, you know what? Come to think about it, man, Takeover was facts. Shut y'all ass up, man. Y'all was flip flopping.
You know where that come from? It come from one person trying to go against the grain years later and be like, yeah, Ether was. It wasn't all. It was what? No, that shit was crazy.
Facts.
And it's Jay-Z he's battling. It's not like he's battling Bubba Sparks. That's Jay-Z.
That's Jigga, nigga.
The top dude at that moment. You know what I'm saying?
Eddie, so what happens if Jay wins the battle?
Obviously I think Nas won. Honestly, I think if Jay wins the battle, I think it still lights a fire in Nas, yo. Like I feel like Nas is that type of MC. I don't think he just goes out quietly. I don't. I think that lights a fire. I think, so the difference between Nas, like you could tell Nas is really about the culture, he's about the art form, and like he's a true poet. Like he loves it, you know what I mean? He ain't in hip hop, just for the check or just for the clout, whatnot. So I think if the popular opinion said Jay-Z won, I think it lights a fire on him. You know what I mean? Like he had, I think it was on Godson where he was kind of talking about all the situation leading up to that battle and what happened with his mom, and like he wasn't in the right headspace. You know what I mean? But I definitely think he comes back. How would that change the fans' perception on him? I don't know, but I think Nas is that kind of MC, is that, if he drops something hot, people got a short memory, you know what I mean? Like,
I also think he's kind of reminiscent of LL, like kind of like how Tony was saying, if somebody's dope enough, like we kept giving L chances. Like L may have not lost the battle. I'm not bringing that shit back up, but I'm just talking about even back to Moe Dee, but the fact that he had bad albums and we kept wanting to hear more. So it's the same thing with Nas. Like me and probably Destiny, the only two people who like that Nasir album that Kanye West did. Everybody else hated it, but everybody is still ready to hear what else Nas has out. You know what I mean? So even if he would have, so I feel like even if you don't lose the battle, you've taken some L's in your discography, but none of the fans are ever like, oh, if a new Nas album drops, I'm not going to want to listen to it. Like, even if you didn't like the Nasir and you heard King Disease was coming, you was going to listen for it. You know what I mean? So I think it goes back to maybe what everybody's been saying, is that if you're just dope enough, you know what I mean, that the fans aren't never going to give up on you. You know what I mean? A lot of these artists may not have been dope enough.
The only thing that I think changes is you know, how everyone uses the term ether now as a verb. You know what I mean? Like, maybe the term ether is no longer used. I don't think people are going to be saying that an MC took over, but they definitely not going to say they got
Damn,
ether.
you got took over. Man, you got took over.
Oh, that sounds crazy as hell.
Right,
He got
right.
to go rule.
That joint is a little flagrant.
You got took over. Like, oh, okay.
Some
All right,
extra shit right there.
last joint we got for the night, 2002, 50 Cent and Ja Rule. If Ja Rule wins this battle, after Wankster, 50 is 50 and, you know, been shot 9 times. I've been shot 9 times. Nigga, I have been shot 9 times, nigga.
I got shot.
It's like, you know, I still understand. Like, y'all niggas respect the nigga who got shot. I respect the shit. Like, I've never understood, like, I felt like there was a time in hip-hop where getting shot was the shit. Even on The Sopranos, if y'all remember on The Sopranos, when Lord Jamar was on there, and it was like, yo, I'm falling off, and it was like, yo, go get shot. Like, there was just a time, I don't know why or what happened where it was like, I'm like, nigga, I'm from Philly. Niggas get shot every day. That don't mean you thorough. That don't mean nothing, but neither here nor there. So 50 is the hottest thing in the streets. Ja Rule gets ethered. And then 50 starts singing. What happens if Ja Rule just drops some shit that just knocks 50 and just puts 50 on his ass? Does it change anything? Do we still get power? Do we still get BMF? Do we get vitamin water? What happens if Ja Rule beats 50? Veg, I know you were huge into that mixtape circuit when G-Unit was there and everything was going on. What happens if Ja Rule beats 50? What happens to 50 career from here?
First of all, Tupac started that getting shot shit because the 5 stars didn't stop me. I took it and smiled. People kind of were giving him props for that shit. I remember when he got shot in Vegas. We didn't even think he was going to die. We were like, that nigga gonna live. Like,
I will say this. I
remember that.
See, with Pac getting shot, the gangsterism that went to was that niggas tried to rob him and he ain't give up his shit and he got shot. To me, that's a little different than I just got shot. Like, if you like, damn, 8 niggas tried to rob Kill and he ain't give up his shit and that nigga took 2 slugs, that's some thug shit. Kill was just standing on the corner and niggas started spraying the block. That's a different kind of getting shot.
Well, that's not how 50 got shot. It was a hit. So,
okay. Well,
you can look at that as like, you know, he into some shit. And, you know, they dug up on one of that. Still some gangster shit. And, you know, legend be told, Tupac shot himself. But that's besides the point.
Right.
My accident.
I like you,
My
man.
accident.
Yeah.
Right. He was reaching, but, you know, it happened.
Right.
Well, me and Tone did an episode. We did an episode on all this shit.
Yeah, I really did.
We did an episode on this, and I don't think 50 is as big because Ja Rule was already hot.
He was hot,
crazy hot. You know what I'm saying?
And this battle was going on before Get Rich or Die Trying dropped, right? Get Rich or Die Trying dropped. Okay. So
it kind of gave him more momentum. You know, I mean, don't get me wrong. The mixtapes were on fire.
But if Ja drops, does Get Rich or Die Trying do 10 million records or whatever astronomical figure?
Then the club is on that shit. Yep.
Yeah.
Because that shit ain't have nothing to do with the battle. People just love that record, and it went crazy beyond. It crossed over, and it's not. When you look at his lyrics, I mean, look at the shit he's saying in it. It's not no crossover lyrics at all.
No.
It's actually some Me Too shit in some of them bars. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, why you putting your head down, JL? It's true, nigga. Say them lyrics. You can be like, dang, I can't say that. But nah, seriously though, I just feel like people tend to forget how big Ja Rule was at the time.
They do. People want to dismiss Ja Rule, and when you defend it, it's as if you were. I ain't never bought no Ja Rule album, but you can't deny if you were there that nigga was hot.
Vern, you saw I got attacked on Twitter.
Yeah, I saw. Yeah.
Oh, word.
That shit was crazy, though.
Yeah. Bro, Always on Time, one of my favorite songs ever. You put Always on Time on, bro. I'm good. That shit with Ja Rule
was fire, yo. Like,
fuck out of here.
The way Bobby jumped out that helicopter on the Thug Love.
Oh hell yeah!
Oh, you crazy?
Jacket half full.
It made me want to get in the helicopter. Just jump out of it, man.
What Pusha T say? Bobby Brown jaw.
And I know y'all getting bored. All right, let me chill.
Yo, bro. I ain't gonna hold, like you said, I ain't never brought it out, but I ain't gonna sit here and tell you I ain't gonna bob my head to a damn Ja Rule mixtape, man.
Yeah, man. Like it's funny because when you go back and really listen, you realize like, damn, Ja Rule was hot. Even his responses were hot.
It worked.
Like the shit he was saying on that New York shit, that shit was
New York
crazy.
is a hard ass.
You know what I'm saying? Like
50 was just too strong, man.
50 was just, and you know what? But you know what the difference was?
Shady.
That I think Ja Rule didn't have. 50 Cent is a funny motherfucker. His humor.
Yeah.
Some of those this is
he a jerk. He a jerk. You're right. Yeah.
Right. It's him talking.
Yeah.
Right.
He probably, you know, I think that's what kind of hurt Ja Rule. So I thought 50 won the battle, obviously, but I feel like if Ja Rule had won, you know, he wouldn't be, you know, at the Bucks game performing.
I'm glad you gonna say something. I know.
I guess not.
Just get out of it. And we don't know Giannis ain't got no jump shot, so that was the ultimate disrespect. Like,
Oh man,
you know,
that was hilarious, bro.
Yeah. All right.
Niggas is funny.
All right. What happens if Ja Rule wins, man?
Hey, in this situation, I definitely feel like 50 won. But in this situation, nature took its course as it should have, because Rule was getting on my nerves with the Pac impersonations on that Pain is Love shit, and I did not need more of that. This nigga would have been Tupac 2000 Pac if he would have won that battle. He would have been beating on his chest from here to fucking Oakland. Like,
That's a pretty good damn point, dog.
no, and I couldn't have took no more of that, man. And like, man, that Pain is Love era Rule, that shit got on my nerves, bro. The nigga even redid Pain. Like, nah, bro. No, we not having this. Like 50 came just in the nick of time, man. Shut that shit down. Shut that shit down, bro. Shut that shit down, bro. Shut that shit down, bro.
wait, didn't Ja Rule say that shit? Like, y'all want to see Pac back?
Yeah,
He
yo.
did.
Yeah, he really referred to stuff.
And that's my whole point, bro. Like, shut that shit down.
You
Like,
right.
Even with his stomach tat and all that, right?
That nigga would have been like, yo, I want to redo Juice. Let me star in the
Facts.
Juice. That nigga would've
Facts.
been like, yo, Herb, let's make Juice over again.
Yeah, dude,
Yeah.
that's a good point, dog.
Oh hell no.
He would have been out of control. He would have been out of
Facts.
control.
Oh yeah.
Poetic Justice 2 with
yeah.
Ashanti.
and Irv behind him?
Yo, did you just say Poetic Justice 2 with a shot?
Y'all is reaching.
Hey, man, you know
Yeah, I don't like that.
Poetic Justice Part 2.
That shit
That shit funny, man.
And you know they would have had Herb playing the board with the brush. Herb would have
Chicago.
It would have been the Murder Inc. rendition. This shit would have been like a damn Broadway play, Poetic Justice 2.
Poetic Justice 2.
You a fool.
What would have been the plot of that motherfucker?
You a fool for that.
Hey, that was a good
Yo,
one.
that's funny,
That was a
dog.
good one.
Nigga says starring Jeffrey Atkins and Ashanti. That's hilarious. That's hilarious, bro. That's
Poetic
hilarious.
Justice 2. Hey, Eddie, that was a good one. That was a
Oh
good
my
one.
God, I can see them three riding around the goddamn.
I could actually see them doing that shit.
You know he would've.
This shit. Tone, what do you have if John wins the battle? Oh my God.
Really said Poetic Justice 2. Y'all crazy.
Yo, somebody, Eddie, you need to make a movie poster of that, bro. You need to Photoshop that movie poster.
First of all, I needed
man.
that laugh tonight because that was hilarious.
Oh my God.
Now, obviously, 50 Cent won, but I think there's a lot of factors in that too. You know what I'm saying? One, Ja Rule had been hot so long, you burn out, you get tired of people. 50 was a new kid on the block, got shot, he the new Tupac, then he got a monster behind him, Dr. Dre, Jimmy Iovine, Eminem, Shady Aftermath.
Yep.
You can't stop that. In the club, Dr. Dre, biggest single since Chronic 2001, still Dre. ain't no stopping that train from crashing into you. 50 Cent was inevitable, whether Ja Rule had better diss tracks or not. You was not stopping to get Rich or Die Trying. Just it was the momentum was there. They had too much going, so nothing you can do. But if Ja Rule wins, like my man says, he's gonna be, you know, when he was beefing with DMX on the radio, y'all niggas want to see Tupac back and all this. It would have got worse. You know what I'm saying? And so he would have really been intolerable. And we probably got another album that might have sold a little bit more because he was still hot or whatever, and would have got tired of Ja Rule. So eventually he'd have ran himself out because he would have got tired of him. You know what I'm saying? But he did fight hard. He did have some nice little tracks back. It just that tidal wave of Shady Aftermath.
Yep.
He wasn't gonna lose.
He got swallowed up. Yeah.
So tell me this: that's a battle I didn't keep up with. Was it as close? It always sounds like it was a landslide.
No,
like,
it wasn't close. It was a landslide.
It was a landslide, and then Murder ain't going down too, so that didn't help either.
It was Manny Pacquiao getting knocked out by Marquez in the fourth, dog.
All right, what you gonna say, Bag?
No, I agree, but I was gonna say that I think I don't know. I think it was almost as if the hip hop community kind of reverted back to the 80s when it came to Ja Rule. It was listed of anything he had to say. Even when it was hot.
Anything.
It was like clap back.
Yeah.
And I heard some of them bars and I was like, this shit ain't trash.
Yeah, it's fine.
It wasn't trash.
Nobody wanted to hear it, so
it
was like people did not want to hear and he was putting out after that, you know, like
right.
the clapback. I like that joint, but
do y'all think it's because Ja was, like you said, at the end? So it was like we already were kind of tired of him, so that just this was just the icing on the cake. Like, do you think if when Ja was at his highest, if 50 came near, that we would?
I think he was at his highest.
He didn't come when Ja was at his highest.
Okay,
he was at his highest, but he was on the back end.
But you know, another factor that we kind of mentioned, he was kind of bitish. And he was like, "Hey man, this is a little 3-Pac out of here, man." And so that did him no favor.
Did you just call this nigga 3-Pac? What is going in tonight? I'm just in the zone. Justice with Ashanti. You call this nigga 3-Pac? God over here talking about.
Yeah, but you know what, Kill? Ja Rule did make one good point on I think it was on Drink Champs or either Vlad at one point. During the time, at one point, you know, when Murder Inc. had the damn investigation with the feds, they got shut down too. So at one point they couldn't record any music. And 50 kept dumping on them with all of their disses and all that. And Ja Rule and them got stifled. They couldn't do anything else because the feds had already raided Murder Inc. They couldn't make any music. They couldn't do shit. So that didn't help. Not that he was going to win anyway, but that was just another extra crutch.
Nail in the coffin.
Yeah. 50 said it, nigga. This a Murder Inc. clearance sale.
Yeah, he cleared them out.
He said it.
Hey, look, it doesn't help that 50 Cent is saying this nigga said he sings for hoes like the Cookie Monster. Yeah. And he called Black Child Crack Child. Yeah. Like, this nigga joke level was just too high for him. It made us all look at him like clowns. Like,
that's what it did. That's what it did. Clown.
He clowned them. That's what he did.
He's fun. He's fun to do.
Ja Rule wins, JR.
Like y'all said, he would have been out of control. But after a while, like Tone said, like 50 had too much behind him, and you couldn't mess with in the club. Like, you just couldn't. It was just, even Irv and them said it. When they heard it, they was like, oh shit. Like, when they heard that record, it was like, what do we do? And then this dark cloud comes over them. So it was like, it's done. Like, what can we do? So Ja Rule would have tapped himself out. I don't want to hear him no more. Like, I got enough. I got enough of him and the singing girls too. I was done.
The wildest part with 50 is I felt like he either Ja Rule and then he took Ja Rule's style. Like that nigga Rogue. That nigga Rogue Ja Rule. Like that nigga touched Ja Rule like Rogue and took that nigga superpower and did exactly the same thing we dissed you for. And I'm gonna go to the bank with it. Rel, what happens if Ja wins?
I agree with everybody else. He just went out of control with that pop shit, bro. Like the double album was coming next.
Yeah.
The double album was coming next.
Yep.
All right, Eddie, start thinking. We need an Above the Rim remake. Who's starring in Above the Rim? So get ready when I come to you. I need who's Ashanti playing? The mom, what's the nigga name? Dwayne Martin? Yeah,
Shepherd.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
right.
Yeah. No, Shep was the body. Was the
the security
brother?
Shep was Leon. Yeah.
Yeah. All right, so
but that's what would have happened. He would have, because that would have been a, not with his belt, and he would have. We'd have got tired of that shit, of course. But the double album was coming. Trust me.
I believe that too.
Question: if he beats 50, do we get more street music from Ja?
Yes, for a little while, but then going back to the
because that would gave him a notch. That's
And he was going to talk his. He was going to talk so much shit.
Because that's what I was gonna say. It's hard to talk shit with Ashanti singing. So do we get like that of that double album? Do we get one album that's just straight hood for him to talk his?
You'll get you will get some of that Benny Beachy vibe that
But didn't we? But didn't we already get that? Like he dropped that blood in the Blood in My Eye album.
That was after the fact.
That was too late.
But see,
I apologize.
That was happening.
Yeah, that's what Clapback is on.
Clapback is on the album. Blood in My Eye is from a book. He took that from a book. So that's where that title came from. But that came out too late. That was too late. Nobody wanted to hear nothing.
Nobody cared.
Like, so while that album was more street, nobody gave a damn about that. You know what I'm saying? Like, 50 was a phenomenon, and at the time, and it was just like there was nothing he was gonna be able to do. It was nothing.
He was a force of nature.
This is the cover to an album.
That's the Blood in My Eye.
But he said on Drink Champs that was supposed to be a mixtape. But the label
I don't
was
care.
like,
I don't care if this was supposed to be your Twitter profile pic. This ain't no.
But if it's a
cover,
it's terrible.
It's horrible. Yeah, it's bad.
Nah,
it's the album cover of a loser.
How did this get past marketing?
No, Capadonna did that. Capadonna was behind that.
You might have to do another one of those episodes. Yeah.
Hey, Kill.
You might need to do another whack album covers because we got some new candidates.
I swear on my life, I've never seen that album cover a day in my life.
Are you
serious?
serious?
Can't do whack album covers because you know what's going to get mentioned. I'm not going to even say it. Go ahead.
You already did it.
I'm not going to say it.
You already did it.
Yeah. You talking about Kappa? You talking about
No, you don't know what Real talk about though.
Oh, right.
You know what Real talking about.
He who we don't mention. Because,
okay.
Never mind.
Eddie, what you got if Ja Rule wins?
All right, so my thing, I agree. I think really the main reason 50 Cent ran away with it is, 50 was so funny. I agree with that. He was so funny like that. Even folk who weren't totally invested in the battle, they were there for the jokes. You know what I mean? And after a while, it's hard to take a dude like Ja Rule seriously, when all you're thinking of all the jokes that 50 is telling, you know what I mean? Like,
right.
And Ja is trying to be so serious. I mean, you're talking about a singing dude, right? Like, Drake calls himself, like, his response to Pusha T, you got, or not Pusha T, who he said, you got bodied by a singing.
Got bodied by a singing nigga to me.
Yeah. But Ja Rule was really that singing dude, right? And so I think he came out of his element. 50 pulled him out of his element because that Blood in My Eye that wasn't Ja Rule. You know what I mean? Like he was trying to go street to compete with 50, but Ja Rule was already in his own lane. You know what I mean? So I think if Ja Rule wins, I think he continues. I don't think he goes street. I think if he wins, I think he keeps the lane that he was already successful in. I do think that he becomes completely incorrigible. I think, like everyone else said, the Tupac comparisons and the him portraying Pac, whatever the case is, gets out of control. Honestly, maybe we get Firefest the way that it was originally promoted.
You stole mine.
We
wouldn't get no Firefest.
The way they promoted, you know what I mean?
That's what I was gonna say.
Not the wish version.
Firefest, that's crazy.
Not the version we got, but
Damn,
the good version. You know what I mean?
Damn, Doc. Golly. I'm together, man.
I'm just still waiting on who's starring in Above the Rim with Ja. Who's starring in Above the Rim?
Black Child.
Black Child.
Black Child, Black Child started with him.
We gotta find somebody for Ashanti. We gotta find someplace for Ashanti and her. All right, y'all. We went through the battles. Hilarious show. Good guy. Eddie, tell them where they can get at you. Freestyles, everything.
On Twitter at EddieD80, Instagram at Freestyles, freestyles.com. You know what I mean? Got the reviews, you know what I mean? I'm back at it. I have to take a little hiatus. But you know what I mean? I just dropped a review this past week. You know, I have another one on Monday. Yeah, man. So you know, I'm taking submissions. You know what I mean? You independent artists, you know, or if you manage independent artists, you know someone dope, you know, send them my way.
All right, no doubt. Rel, where can they get out you? Everything about Fair Grade, the shirts, the hats, everything.
Yeah, you can get at me at theripperstrikesback.com. It's like,
Oh my God, yo. That was this nigga's email address in real life.
Bro, I don't even want to outro. I'm out, y'all, man. See y'all later.
Oh, man. It's like, Uptown J Ben on the gram, Pen215 on Twitter, Fair Grade with a PH instead of an F. Got some stuff coming, working my ass, but got some more stuff coming, so be on the lookout for that.
All right, no doubt. JR, the R&B rep, where can they get at you, brother?
All right, JR's Brother Soul, the R&B reps on Instagram, on Twitter. Catch that on Sunday. We got Rap coming up. We got Fonte coming up. We got Zoe. What else we got? And we got N.W.A. So we got those coming up. So be look out for those.
Wow. Vegas, where can they get at you, good brother?
At Vegas World INC on all social media platforms. And because Mel got me hyped, I want that all eyes on Jeffrey double out. Make it happen, Jeffrey. Make it happen.
All eyes on Jeffrey.
Oh my
God.
Buy it. That nigga will stream it. All right, God, where can they get at you, brother? Where can they buy and support your music?
You can hit me on IG and Twitter at GodMC. That's GAWDEMCEE. The YouTube is I Am God. I am GAWD. Facebook page, I don't be on there a lot, but sometimes I Am God. More music coming, you know what I'm saying? Waiting on that Are You Still Down Part 2, Jeffrey Atkins, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm just playing, man. L, I love you, bro, but that Return of the Ripper shit was trash. I'm sorry.
Oh my God.
Ripperstrikesback.com. Hey, what kind of trash was it?
The bottom of the fucking dumpster barrel, bro. The juice is wafting, soaking up all the nasty bacteria. I love you, man. I love you, man. I love you.
My God. So let them know they can get at you, fam.
Yeah, man. Twitter and IG, Tony the Dome. You already know. And the website, intothedome.com. Check it out. A lot of articles, a lot of hip hop shit. You know how we do it. Appreciate you.
Vern, let them know where they can get at you if they trying to buy a house in the ATL, good brother.
On Instagram at Jacobelli.
Oh God. I'm done with y'all tonight, y'all.
Jacobelli.
I'm out. I'm gone.
Yo, in all honesty, I don't know who gets the offering plate this week. I probably gotta give it to Eddie because that Poetic Justice starring the Shan that took the cake for me. So, but Jockavelli is right there, Vern. I see you really want that offering plate too. I see everybody.
We'll split it, man. I'll split it with my brother.
Cool. Now, V the Long Clothes on Instagram and at VChandler10 on Twitter.
Yo, y'all already know where to get at me. Kill889. Vegas and I have a wonderful EP out. Willmatic, all about his cousin, the late great Will. Definitely to me, it should be on people's at least EPs of the year. I know people don't do the albums with the EPs, so it got to be on your EPs of the year. I also got another EP out with my brother King James, the first 48, which you can get at James Spits Flames. Bandcamp.com. Then I got an EP out right now with Echo, MC out in New York and LA. Echo is the name. .bandcamp.com. You can check that out. I will check y'all next week, man. Oh, sorry.
Sure, one more thing. I forgot to mention this. Me and Rec got a couple of songs together, so look out for that.
Okay.
It's shit is hot, and I'm talking mad shit. So be on lookout for that.
All right, Vegas and this David Bell back. So, all right, y'all. I'll check y'all out next week, y'all.
All right, fellas.